long. I think I just might watch the chat. I think all I'm going to do is just watch J.D. Walker and Oreo the Cat go absolutely at it today, because that seems like the true voice of the fan. Who am I to say that I am the voice of the fan? I don't think I've ever said that. I've thought it deep down. I've said that. I've claimed to be the voice of the fan. All right. I am officially the voice of the fan. Who else is going to take up that mantle? Who else is going to wear that crown? Wow, guys, I have changed the name of the MVP award. Yeah. I think a big reason that we're arguing back and forth, what up to you two, by the way, I love you guys. I think a big thing going back and forth with this award is the actual verbiage of the word, the etymology behind value, okay? We're going to be doing a deep dive into the etymology of value on today's TBWZ, of course. We have a lot of fun stuff planned. I'm going live on TikTok in about an hour. I have my round 2 awards for those fools over there, and of course my conference preview. Brother, listen. I also reserve the right to change my mind, okay? I'm going to do that. I reserve the right to change my mind throughout this entire series for both of them. For round 2 and round 1, I pretty much held on tight, or hold on tight. Speaking of ELO, shout out to ELO for playing us in, and Cars. I reserve the right to change my mind at any point, okay? All right? Other sports media guys, don't let them. Don't let them change their mind. Do not let them sway back and forth. If Nick Wright says he chooses the Spurs in 6 and the Thunder sweep in 4, do not let him recant. Do not let him go back on his word. Hold them accountable. Except for me. Do not hold me accountable to anything, please. Well, I won't be here all day. I do have baseball practice. I absolutely love it, Oreo. I cannot wait to hear how your game went. We are praying for a victory for Oreo the Cat and his very, very bad, no good baseball team. It's tough because Oreo the Cat is absolutely carrying that entire team. I also have notes on the Steelers, too. I seeing Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers play football together on the Steelers, it's a weird situation going on up there, and I'm so glad I'm not a part of it. I'm just so glad I have a football team that's built on greatness, right? Rather than Aaron Rodgers need to be a part of this. I agree because I feel like it wasn't just valuable to his team, it's also valuable to the league, so I don't think anybody thinks about that part. True value to the league. If we were doing value to the league, I think Cooper Flagg would be the MVP. Trust me, I got notes on that every single step of the way. We're going to be getting after it in just one moment as we get into today's TBWZ Power Hour. You are listening to Take Back with Zach, where we cover the hottest topics in the sporting world, including deep dives into the greatest teams to ever exist, the Lakers, the Chargers, and the Anaheim Angels, as well as all of the news from around the world of sports. This show is live every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. Pacific time, and then nightly following NBA playoff games. Since we are in conference finals, we do have a game every day for probably the next 2 weeks or so, if all things go 7. So we're going to be locked in doing TBWZ on a daily basis for the next, I don't know, at least a week and a half. So lock in with us. Have fun with us every single night. If you do like this Power Hour, you're going to love the full show. Available everywhere you get your podcast, and the YouTube video is on, well, YouTube. On today's show, we're going to be covering the PGA Championship, Aaron Rodgers. I have my TBWZ Round 2 awards. The Round 1 awards went really, really well, so I'm hoping that the Round 2 awards will also produce some excitement with the fans. And then, of course, we're going to do conference finals, previews, and much, much, much more, as we always do. But, of course, this show begins the same exact way every single day, and that's with the verse of the day. Today's verse comes to you from Hebrews chapter 6. In this passage here, Paul is talking to us. Dear friends, even though we are talking this way, we really don't believe it applies to you. We are confident that you are meant for better things, things that come with salvation. For God is not unjust. He will not forget how hard you have worked for him and how you have shown your love to him by caring for other believers, as you still do. Our great desire is that you will keep on loving others as long as life lasts, in order to make certain that what you hope for will come true. Then you will not become spiritually dull and indifferent. Instead, you will follow the example of those who are going to inherit God's promise because of their faith and endurance. Love each other, brother. As we get heated debates with the Knicks fans and the Cavs fans and the Spurs fans and JD, we are going to have a lot of hatred flying back and forth throughout the next couple of weeks. That is totally okay in the context of sports, but in the grander context of life, we are going to stick to loving others. The movie of the day has to do with what we're talking about today, which is what's happening in the world of sports, we're going over the game plan. Oh, yeah. We're going over the game plan today. In this hilarious and heartwarming family comedy, one of sports' toughest players ever takes on the biggest challenge yet, fatherhood. A superstar with an ego bigger than a football field, Joe Kingman is ready for a run at the big championship game when the 8-year-old daughter he never knew existed shows up at his not-so-family-friendly bachelor pad. As the big game gets closer, he begins to realize the most meaningful win he can achieve is the heart of the one little fan who counts the most. The game plan featuring The Rock and that one girl. Whatever happened to her? What's her name? She was on a Disney show a while back. Seth, what up? Yo, that's a W movie, W game plan. Fellas, let's get into today's show. Born into the unknown, every being to grace the planet has been shackled by a shared reality that we are but a product of our environment. Where you were born, who your parents are, and what their socioeconomic status is greatly determines one's trajectory in life. If you are the spawn of two crystal-huffing glassheads, odds are you're going to come out with a max IQ of 75 and most likely be a product of the foster system. If your parents are Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, you might find yourself headlining Rolling Loud at the age of 12. Where we are born determines so much of who we become as adults, what we believe, what we pursue, where we stand morally, and more often than any of the above, who we root for. My father was passed down from his mother an intense fandom for the Anaheim Angels. Unfortunately, that fandom has been passed down to me. I got to put on my Angels hat for this one. Okay? That's horrible. Just like this. Yeah. Really can't see my eyes. It's exactly where we want to be. Oh, this is a horrible look. First time wearing a hat? Maybe. Bro's never worn a hat before. I got to wear the Angels hat for the Angels take because people see the clip and they're like, oh, look, an Angels fan. Oh, he's one of us. He knows what we're going through. The Halos were outscored 31-3 this weekend against the Dodgers in what might have been the final nail in the coffin for many fans. And honestly, I don't really blame you if it was, dude. They have lost 8 of their last 9 games and have been outscored 73-11 in that stretch. That is an average final score of 8-1 over the last 9 games for the Halos. They are 26th in runs scored, 28th in batting average, 24th in OPS. We have the most strikeouts in the league by 20 at 9.8 Ks per game played. We are 28th in team ERA. The bullpen alone has a 5.47 ERA. They've given up the 3rd most walks, 7 most home runs. They have a minus 60 run differential, which is worse than the entire NL East combined. We're also 16-31, holding a 2-game lead over Colorado for the worst record in baseball. The whole sell the team thing just feels so ridiculous at this point. Listen, I'm with you in Artie Moreno selling the team, but that's not the real problem here. To be honest, my anger and frustration resides within what Perry Mason has done as a general manager of this team. I mean, the dude's name is Perry. What did we honestly expect? It's a really, really bad baseball name. And names matter a lot in baseball. Trust me, bro. Hire a dude named Home Run Bullpen, and I guarantee you he would do better than Perry Mason has. He's drafted 68 pitchers since he took over in 2020, and every one of those dudes is a total bum. Out of the 68 drafted pitchers, you couldn't even luck into one being good? All that tells me is we have a horrible scouting department that truly does not know how to evaluate talent, and our farm system is chock full of bloated has-beens that have no idea how to develop young players. 68 pitching prospects have walked through that door over the past 5 seasons, and the best of the bunch is Chase Silseth or Sam Bachman. Those guys barely make the rotation on a true contending baseball team. The heart of the issue relies not on our players or our owner not spending money. It comes from an organization being built on sand. Every successful company has a clear structure and foundation that establishes who they are and what their brand identity is. And that's what the Angels are. They are a company. Every great company relies on self-promotion. You start in the mailroom. You work your way up to being an assistant, then a junior project manager. Then you become a bona fide talented member of the company that then helps hire and train new talent below you. The Angels have bad scouts. That leads to bad players and bad talent developers, which leads to lack of improvement, which leads to not having prospects to fill the 40-man roster and not having trade pieces to go after big free agents to win. The team's biggest problem is not Artie Moreno. The Angels' biggest problem is not Artie Moreno. It's the structural weakness of the organization as a whole, being incapable of evaluating and developing talent to compete at the highest level. The worst part of all of this is that we tune into every game still. I still, every night, flip on channel 64. Angels Baseball TV now is what the channel is called. I pay my yearly fee to watch the Angels play on MLB TV. I still tune into every single game just to watch this team get obliterated by actual good baseball teams. I guess I'm the idiot, but realistically, there are many of us that are tuning in every single night to watch this Angels team lose baseball games. I've done the whole we need to fire or Artie Moreno needs to sell the team thing. We've all done that a million times. I don't know what that really solves. I listed out the issues for you. This team has such an issue with developing talent and getting talented players in the first place. From the top to the bottom, this is a very poorly run organization. I don't think it's right to blame the players in this one. I don't think it's right to blame Mike Trout for not being a winner or not wanting to be traded and go somewhere else. I don't think it's fair to blame those guys. I don't think it's fair to blame Artie for not spending money because he has. It's definitely not fair to blame the fans because we show up every single night watching this team lose. It's been season after season after season of mediocrity, and now we find ourselves as the worst team in baseball. We used to be able to hang our dumb red hat on this idea that, well, we're not that bad, but, we're not that good, but at least we're not the Rockies. At least we're not the A's. We are now. We're actually worse than those teams because the A's have young talent. The A's look like a team that's on the rise. The Angels look like a worthless franchise. They are the bottom of the league for a reason. They are bad at hitting. They are bad at pitching. They are bad at managing. They are bad at developing talent. They are bad, bad, bad. The only thing that is good about this team is you and me. And as long as we stick together and we ride this thing out, one day when we're sitting and we're holding up that World Series trophy, you and I get to remember these lean years, and we get to remember I was always there through the thick and through the thin. But brother, it's getting a lot harder every single loss. No more hat. Now my hair is so messed up. I was having a good hair day. Bro. Now I'm having a bad hair day. All for that. I don't know who you're talking about, but I know it's not the Mets. Well, Nick, I think maybe the big red hat on my head maybe would have made that one clear, but we are the best. Mets are terrible. Mets did win the Subway Series against the New York Yankees. Listen, man, it's a bad situation for Angels fans across the world. Unlike for Phillies fans who have seemed to find their groove again after promoting Donnie Baseball to skipper. Bro, so the Phillies fired their manager like a month ago, and Don Mattingly became the interim manager because he was like a coach on the team, yada, yada. They promoted Donnie Baseball up to manager. Don Mattingly has one of the wildest stats in baseball. He played for 16 years for the Yankees and has coached for 22 years, meaning that in his life, in his 65 years of life, he has spent 38 years of it in baseball. Don Mattingly, he is Mr. Baseball for a reason. In those 38 seasons that he has been a part of a baseball organization, he has never won a World Series. Last year, as a bench coach for the Blue Jays, he was a game away from doing it. Now he finds himself leading the Phillies after their manager was fired just a month ago. Since taking over, they have gone 15-4 and are back above 500. Could Donnie Baseball get it done this time around? Who knows? But having Kyle Schwarber sure does help. He leads the league with 20 home runs. Followed by him is Murakami of the White Sox with 17, and Aaron Judge has 16. The top pitchers of the league, I'm using average against rather than ERA. I think that's more indicative of how good the guy's stuff is batting average against. Paul Skeen leads the league with a 161 opponent batting average. Jacob Mizorowski has a 162, so only .001 percentage points behind Paul Skeens. And then Cam Schlittler with a .168 ERA against. Man, those guys are absolutely dealing, much like Aaron Rye was this weekend, brother. What a finish for Rye at the PGA Championship to secure his first major win of his career. The dude was unbelievable on the last 10 holes on Sunday as he went into hole 9, 4 strokes back on the lead. Then hit an unbelievable second shot on 9 that led to an eagle on that hole. He then went on a tear after that without bogeying the final 9 holes. He birdied 4 of them and finished 4 under the rest of the way, winning the tournament by 3 strokes. The only thing that totally stinks about Aaron Rye is the fact that he's wearing 2 gloves when he tees off, which makes him look like a total dork. I don't know if you guys have ever played golf. I sometimes go out there to the driving range with no gloves because I'm a man. I ain't wearing gloves to protect what? Blisters? Blisters are afraid of me. I don't know. Have you ever had an actual like bad blister and then you pop it and it's like the pus comes out and everything? You're like, oh, this is cool. And then like that skin rubs off and then it's just like a big red spot and you're like, this is not cool anymore. It's the blister's at its coolest stage when it still has like some tenacity to it. Elasticity to it, to the skin. Where the skin membrane is not broken through and there's still that pus underneath, you can play with it a little bit. I don't know. Bro, I'm annoyed Game 7 of the Canadiens versus Sabres and the Thunder games are going to be playing at the same time. Bro, 2-screen. Dude, you're having an afternoon delight, brother. 2-screen dream, bro. Game 7 over here. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals over there. Brother, we're living in a sports dream right now. You got 3 major sports on all at once, all firing away, brother. I once poured rubbing alcohol on a popped blister. Now we can just pause the show right here and just talk to Neck real fast about what the heck was going through his head. Rubbing alcohol on a popped blister? Were you trying to, what's the word? Sanitize? There we go. Neck was trying to sanitize a popped blister with rubbing alcohol. Brother, I can't even imagine the pain. That's probably like when they poured boiling wine over Jaime Lannister's chopped off hand in Game of Thrones. From all accounts, though, Aaron Rye does seem like one of the nicest dudes in golf, so shout out to him. But not to be outdone by his double-A brother from England, our sweet boy Aaron Rodgers signed a 1-year deal to return as the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh! Who cares? Looking through their schedule, I have this team at 6-11. Maybe. Like, give or take a game or two. At best, what this team could do is what they did last season, which is barely sneak into the playoffs after a missed kick from the opposing team who usually would make that, but their kicker was out all season after getting caught sexually abusing women. Classic. The Steelers are absolutely lost. Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback again? Oh, that sucks. Oh, Mike McCarthy's your head coach? Cool. You went from like Mike Tomlin to Mike McCarthy, and it's like that meme of the guy who's just like, it's like the Alex Jones meme of like before and after. Hey, that's the same guy. One's just black. Sorry. Shouldn't have said that. The goal for the Steelers, and I'm going to talk about this a lot with you guys. A lot with you guys. No, I mean, I have multi-view on YouTube. I just could have watched Game 7, then watch Game 1 of Western Conference Finals. Yeah, JD wants the game to be at 2 p.m. He wants them to do like an afternoon Game 7, so he could watch both at the same time. I mean, who are you telling Gary Bettman in the NHL what to do? Just kidding. I love you. NFL hot takes in here too. Let me hop on this. NFL hot takes is in here. I think there's still animosity between Aaron and McCarthy. This could be a nightmare on the field. It could also be a nightmare off the field, brother. I think the Steelers are just a lost organization right now. I don't think that the owner of this team is willing enough to lose. I just did a whole diatribe about how mad I am about the Angels like being willing to lose all of these games. The Steelers need to be able to lose games, bro. We had a tanking problem in the NBA this year, and you're going to hear me talk about this a lot. Can he finish the sentence? I don't know. Put that on the poll. Can Vini finish the sentence today? We had tanking in the NBA big time this year. Big time. To the point where Adam Silver reorganized the entire way that the draft lottery is even set up to try to prevent tanking, okay? We are going to have tanking in the NFL this year, and it's going to be awesome, okay? We're going to celebrate tanking because there is a quarterback draft class coming in the 2027 draft class that includes some of the bigger names in college football. You have Dante Moore, who would have been the number 2 overall pick this year, decided, I don't really want to play for the Jets. He's back at Oregon. He'll be in the draft next year. Brendan Sorsby, if he doesn't get thrown in jail for gambling, he's going to be a big name in the NFL draft. Arch Manning is obviously going to lead a ton of discussions this year, but you also have Jaden Mayava from USC, who's a total dog. Lenora Sellers was the number 1 recruit out of high school. There's a lot of talent in that body right there. DJ Legaway is an unbelievable prospect that a ton of teams are going to think could be the best guy from this entire draft. There are still names I haven't even named yet that are coming into this NFL draft. You have teams already positioning themselves to draft said players. With that being said, why are the Steelers rolling out Aaron Rodgers? That sucks for the Steelers that Aaron Rodgers is your best option. I hear ya. That's a tough look, okay? A lot of guys, though, are like, hey, maybe we try out Will Howard. The reason you try out Will Howard is because Will Howard's going to stink at football next year, bro. Aaron Rodgers is at least good enough to get you to 7 or 8 wins. Like I said, potentially sneaking into the 7th seed of the playoffs just because of the way that division sometimes rolls out. Will Howard guarantees you like a top 6 draft pick, which guarantees you the best quarterback you've had for Pittsburgh since the guy named Ben. The Steelers should be trying to tank. I think going with Aaron Rodgers is the absolute worst move that they could do for the future of their franchise. Why just do this 1-year thing to like make sure that you're still above 500 or just below or just above it? Why are you striving for mediocrity with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback? Why not strive for greatness 5 years down the road? Sacrifice now for the betterment of your team and your organization later on. Now, I understand, like, they're probably going to end up, even if they do finish at 500, they'll probably get the 15th or the 16th pick, which most likely still will be a good quarterback. So understand the notion of them, like, well, there's still a bunch of guys, like, in later round 1 that we could go for. Or maybe they could trade up in the draft. I don't know what their plan is. But you're not going to win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback this year. The thing that was really, really tough for me about the Steelers last year was they spent so much money on their defense. That defense was sick on paper. Very old and very slow. They turned out to be bad. So bad. They gave up 1 million passing yards to Joe Flacco. Oh, wowzer. They weren't good. Now, my dumb brain is like, well, you know, they weren't good last year, but they still have those names on paper. They still have some good pieces on defense, some good offensive players, some great talent at wide receiver with DK Metcalf, some solid talent with Pat Freiermuth. They got pass catchers. Aaron Rodgers can still sling. Okay, all right. You start to get yourself a little bit hyped up. You're like, wait a second now. Maybe, just maybe, this Steelers team could be good. Maybe, just maybe. But if Mike Tomlin wasn't able to get those guys fired up to play real championship level football, I don't know what Mike McCarthy's going to be able to do. Drew Mestemaker, John Mateer, Darian Mensah, Oreo. The list goes on and on. There are so many quarterbacks they don't need to tank, though. There you go. I think it's a plague of teams not taking swings. Like, why are the Falcons getting Tua to win 7 games? NFL Hot Takes, that's a great point, dude. I'm sure Falcons fans are like thinking that, hey, this roster is good enough to win football games. We just struggled at the quarterback position. I don't know if they're banking on this idea of Tua Tagovailoa suddenly like getting all of his bells and whistles put back together and the CTE being just removed from his brain. But after that guy went full finger mode, like he was not a good quarterback after that. And that is a really, really tough one. But even before that, he had the hip injury in college, which led to surgery. He's had issues with his hip. He's not a mobile quarterback. Honestly, he's probably just as slow and immobile as Aaron Rodgers is, which is crazy. Because in that offense, with all of those weapons, I know you want like an accurate pocket-type passer, which Tua has proven he could be before he went full finger. But mobility is huge in the NFL. In order to win, I think you need a mobile quarterback, and Tua Tagovailoa is not that. I feel bad for Atlanta fans, bro. I think the Falcons have a good enough roster to be Super Bowl contenders. They just don't have that position solidified. I know they have some issues on defense, but in terms of skills players, they've got a good offensive line. They have Bijan Robinson back there. Bro, Kevin Stefanski's a good coach, too. Kevin Stefanski made the Browns half decent. The Browns played in a playoff game not because of Baker, not because of Odell Beckham Jr. or Jarvis Landry or Myles Garrett. They got there because they had a good head coach in Kevin Stefanski. I almost called him Steven Stefanski. Hey, Steven. Do you guys know anyone named Stefan? I'm like, oh, hey, is it Steven? Why do people named Steven spell it Stephen. What's that? That's Stephen. Throwing a PH in your name when you should just rock a hard V? That's crazy work, bro. Your parents were like, how do we make him sound like a total douche? Oh, let's spell his name Stephen. And then the nurse came in after the birth certificate. She's like, okay, I'll get, I think you might have misspelled Steven. Like, no, we want to make him a total douchebag. Oh, we want him to be hated in high school. Okay, yeah, Stefan will work. Bro, if some guy introduced you, he's like, what's up, I'm Stefan. I'm like, all right, I'm Zach, yeah. But if someone's like, yo, I'm Steven, I'm like, what up, dog? Dap you up, bro. Steffens are just unchill people. Shout out to all the Steffens out there. I get team, not because of Baker. I mean, because of Baker, but Nick Chubb too. What's up, Goku? You throw all those pieces together, you still need a head coach to get them there. I think Kevin Stefanski was that guy. Wow, yeah, you're actually right. What about Stephen Curry? Yeah, he's lame. Yeah, Stephen Curry. Actually, Oreo, you poked a hole right in my whole theory. You poked a hole in my hole. Congratulations, brother. You did it. Is Stephen Curry? Yeah, he's a douchebag. Yeah, totally. We don't like Stephen Curry. But he's not Stephen Curry. What's the difference? For me, Stephen is like, oh, we were going to name him Stephanie if she was a girl, but it ended up being a boy, so we just went with Stephen. Steph is a girl's name for me. I know a lot of cool Stephs. I don't know a single like male Steph that I think is cool. Have you guys ever met a cool male Steph? I don't know how to spell his name. Stefanski was a good coach in Cleveland. There we go. Dude, Stefanski? Is that where this all started from? The Steelers are just a lost organization. There are a few free agents that might be able to help. Speaking of Stephon Diggs, he just spells it Stefon. Stephon. And that's not Stephen. But could you spell Stephen Stefan? This is not where I thought we were going to go today, but now my head hurts and I need to figure this out before we get there. Okay, so we have Steven. I need to write this down. Maybe you guys could write this down too. Steven, Stevan? No. Yeah, Steven. And then there's Stephan. And there's Stefon in Stephon. Steven, Stephen, Stephon. How come there's so many variations of the ST? Of the Steven. Sorry, I spelled Steven wrong. If a Stephon becomes a Steph, and a Steven becomes a Steve, what does a Stefanski become? Angels and the Steelers used to be the same team, basically. Both lost a franchise, but wouldn't be the worst. What are you talking about? Steven, Stephen, Stephon. If we were to rank those, obviously Steven is number one in my book. Because I just have so much disdain for Stephon Diggs, I regret putting him here, but I will put Stephon at 2, and then Stephen is third on this list. I mean, we just figured it out. Way to go, guys. We could talk Stevens, Stephens, and Stephons all day long. We could talk about Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers as much as we possibly can. NFL is coming. The winter is coming, bro. Football is here. It's right on the horizon. It is around the sea, baby. And I'm very, very stoked and excited for it, as all of you should be. But the biggest story in sports today is not Stefan, Ansky, or Stephanie. Forgot Stephanie. I've also, this one's crazy. This one might not go over well. I've never met an unattracted Steph. Like if a girl's like, hey, my name's Stephanie, I'm like, okay, hello. But if a girl's like, I'm Steph, always hot. Don't know why. Don't know what that is. I don't know what it is. There's like a confidence to rolling with a nickname, I think, right? I'm Zachary, full legal Zachary, but I go by Zach. I think there's a confidence that comes from going with a nickname. I think the first time we had Oreo on the Cat on the show, I asked him if I could call him by his nickname, and he said no. And so we just rolled with Oreo. I'm pretty sure that was you. Are we doing something there? Is there a direct correlation between nickname use and longevity of swag? Of longevity of coolness? This woman right now reporting for the Steelers. Nice lady. I don't know what I was about to do there. I'm so sorry, guys. We could talk about Stephon, Stephs, Stephanies, Stevens. Stephen A. Austin's, all day long. But the biggest story in sports right now is that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander won the MVP of the NBA. Brought to you by Kia. Before we get into the MVP voting and what you feel about it, first of all, Shams Charania, done. I'm sick and tired of Shams Charania, bro. Two big things in the same week happened with Shams. One, he dropped the MVP news 10 hours before it was supposed to be advanced. And two, all of the reporting he did on Luka Doncic was completely wrong. All season, all series long, all playoffs long, he was coming in and being like, he's progressing and feeling maybe good, and he might be coming back this game. And then it was like, well, it's not. Luka, after the series, was like, I was never coming back. There was no shot I was going to be healthy. I was never even close. Whoever was reporting on this is a fraud liar, and his name is Shams Charania. Unfollow Shams. Bring back Woj. Life was better with Woj bombs. What is a Shams slam? That's stupid. Get out of here. What are we doing, WWE? Speaking of, shout out to Ronda Rousey. Absolutely obliterated that old lady that she fought in the ring. Sponsored by Jake Paul's MVP, Most Valuable Promotions. Shout out to Jake Paul. Okay, my last thought on why Shai is the MVP. All right, we'll let J.D. Walker speak his Spock, is what I was going to say. Out of his 68 games, he scored 20-plus every game. He was number one in clutch points, averaging 6.5 points in clutch time, and number one in plus and minus, first in 20-point games, also first ever guard to have 30-plus points per game and 55% shooting percentage. I'm here for you, bro. I'm here for you. And you're taking the notes right out of my power hour. Shai is the rightful MVP. He is. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the rightful MVP of this league. He's the only guard to have the kind of efficiency we saw from him this season, all while averaging 31 points per game. For the first time in my life, though, the MVP this year was not given because of what someone did on the court. It's what he didn't do on the court that won him this award, which is miss. The dude does not miss. When he drives to the hoop, over 65% of the time he is scoring or getting to the free throw line. He had a 59% field goal percentage on drives in the paint. And when you add in the times that he was fouled, he was basically scoring 70% of the times he drove to the cup. That is absurd. That is a level of scoring and efficiency we have never, ever seen before. Now listen, obviously Nikola Jokic averaging a triple-double is something I don't think we should ever be normalized. I don't think that's something that should ever be normalized. But what we saw from SGA in terms of scoring is something we have never seen before. The dude also never played in the fourth quarter and still put up 31 points per game. He only played 287 total fourth quarter minutes. Now, for context, Jokic played 375 minutes and Luka played in 379. Nearly 100 more minutes played in the fourth quarter for those two players than SGA, and he almost eclipsed and he had 31 points per game. That was a terrible, terrible sentence at the end there. Now, you could use that against him, and a lot of people are when actually looking at the etymology of the adjective valuable. The award is essentially given out to the best player of that season, which is hard to argue against Shai. But the name best player of this season is not a nice name. So when the authors and the writers and the great thinkers of the NBA came together and they're like, what should we call this award? Let's call it the MVP, Most Valuable Player. He's the best player in basketball, but not that far ahead of Jokic. I think it's a lot closer than people do think, but ultimately this season, in a one-season sample size, SGA was the best player in basketball. Yet we claim he doesn't deserve it because of the word valuable. When you take him off the Thunder, this team is still a 4 seed, maybe a 5 seed. Either way, they're not a play-in team. They are a bona fide playoff team with or without SGA. You take Jokic off the Nuggets, they're most likely a play-in team with a shot at a lottery pick. If we did it like that, then yes, Jokic does bring more value to his team than SGA does to his. Although the award is the most valuable player, true value does not really factor into the decision-making from the voters. If we were going purely based on value, then Jaylen Brown is the MVP. What he did for his team was more valuable than what any other player did in the league if we're just going by the word value. But that word is up for interpretation. Luka Doncic was the leading scorer in the league, and he was number 2 in jersey sales. That's a lot of money for the Lakers. That's a lot of revenue for the league. Internationally, too, his audience is massive. Leading the league in scoring, number 2 in jersey sales. Hey, that's a lot of value, too. Cooper Flagg kept Mavericks fans from burning their allegiances and joining the Spurs on the dark side. So I'd say his value to the league is quite extraordinary, especially when you project out that maybe Cooper Flagg will be the face of the league one day. Maybe he has the most value to the NBA. What's up, Nico? When we focus too much, though, on the word value, we begin to forget about the most important part of the world, which is just being insanely good at hooping. If we get caught up in the minutia of what value means to a team, we will not truly satisfy the criteria of the award, which is the best player of the season. I think, if anything, the MVP just needs a name change. I think really we're getting caught up and we're arguing so much back and forth on SGA or Jokic or Luka or Wemby because of the name. I think the award itself needs a change, and I think if we do, there'll be a lot less confusion. I honestly think we should break it up into 3 distinct end-of-season big-time awards. Those 3 awards for me: DPOY, Defensive Player of the Year. We already have that. We add in Offensive Player of the Year. And then the third award is the rebranded MVP to the Crown. The Crown is the third award that I think we should be giving out. It's those big 3. Obviously, we all know what DPOY and OPOY are, but the Crown is the best name I could have. But the Crown is the best name I could think of. But the Crown is the best name that I could think of that encapsulates what the word I need a timeout, bro. I need a timeout. Oh my gosh. Horrible at talking. How much does podcast equipment cost, bro? We should raise the price of podcast equipment 100x, dude. Not being able to, dude, set up a camera, bought a mic, went live on Twitch, got lights and everything. Woohoo, can't even talk. Wrote a 7-page essay for 3 hours this morning. Dialed it all in. Proofread the whole thing. Got all of this set up. Can't even talk. That's so funny. You're like, oh, dude, I like talking about ball, but I'm not good at talking. It's a really important part. Obviously, we know what DPOY and OPOY are, but the Crown is the best name I could think of that encapsulates what the award should mean. What it is, it's the dude that sits at the head of the table. It's the top dog, the big man on campus. It is no longer about value added or any of that. It is a simple nod to the king of the league. It is the guy who scored and played defense and led his team to a successful season. The Crown. In this case, if we use this season as a sample, Wemby would be the DPOY, Jokic would be the OPOY, and SGA would get the Crown. He's the king of the league and deserves all of his flowers. This is like saying since Golden State was so good, Curry shouldn't have gotten the MVP because the team still would have been a higher seed, so he wasn't as valuable. Wait, no, I was right the first time. Because he wasn't? All right. We got a little bit lost there. If he wins a chip, he's the 3rd best point guard all time behind Magic and Steph and ahead of Isaiah. I mean, I think Steve Nash would like a word. Steve Nash is a 2-time MVP. Would you put... Nah, I don't know if you put Dwayne Wade at point guard. I don't know. Dude, it's the all-time SGA thing is going to be a really, really hard one for a lot of people. I think where we're ranking SGA all-time is going to be super, super difficult for a lot of people. But I'm excited about it. Nato, what up? Zach, you mastered by doing. No worries. Everyone went from not knowing how to speak to great heights with it. Wow! Nato! W, bro. Thank you so much for the love. I just get sometimes worked up and my brain moves faster than my actual tongue does. Do you think, are you able to talk without a tongue? I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. That part doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? No, I just try to talk without my tongue. It's completely impossible. Before we get into the final conference finals previews, which I know you're all here for, and Vini's round 2 awards, which are chocked full of fun, I wanted to take a moment to talk about the Detroit Pistons, okay? Detroit's season came to an end last night after an unbelievable regular season and to some, an unexpectedly difficult postseason. They went down 3-1 to Orlando and won that in 7, and then after cruising to start the series against Cleveland, they found themselves unable to produce any offense in Game 7 as they play their final game of the campaign. Here's what you need to know about Detroit. Cade Cunningham is an absolute stud who can 100% carry this team to the finals. But also, Cade needs more scoring options around him than a 38-year-old Tobias Harris and a big man who can't perform when the lights are brightest. Bro, if I'm a Pistons fan, I get quite worried about the idea that Jalen Duren is up for a $250 million contract this offseason, which could be up to $289 million if he makes an all-NBA team, which he will. Jalen Duren is up for a super max deal at $289 million. He is a restricted free agent, so he can go talk to other teams, but Detroit has the option to match that contract and retain him if they want. I cannot fathom paying Jalen Duren over like $25 million a year to play for my basketball team, and he's most likely going to be getting double that. He averaged 20-10 in the regular season and 10-8 in the postseason. I know he went up against some monsters in Cleveland, but arguably he was better against them than he was against Wendell Carter Jr. It's a massive decision for Detroit, but realistically, this team has more than just an issue at big man. They don't have a second scorer who can score the ball alongside Cade. Someone like Austin Reeves, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. You add a bona fide scorer to pair with Cade Cunningham, and you legit have a title contender next season. I do 1,000,000% think a guy like Devin Booker would be awesome on this team. Going after KD would be kind of sick, but I don't know, dude. They have a good chemistry going there, and I don't think bringing Kevin Durant onto that team will help that chemistry at all. Isn't that crazy? Kevin Durant just like goes places and balls out and scores a lot, but completely ruins the locker room everywhere he goes. Did they ever like each other over there in Houston? It's really wild. But I love seeing my team win, but it's not like if the Cowboys or the Yankees or the Stars win their championship. That's how I am. Like when the Lakers won in 2020, I obviously cried. I was overjoyed. If the Chargers win the Super Bowl, I will be a hot mess. That's going to be the best thing ever. But bro, if the Angels win the World Series again, I will burn down a city. That will be like my crowning thing. I think everyone has that. It's the Angels winning the World Series and USC right here. It's USC winning the national championship. That would just send me completely over the moon. If you are not excited about this Spurs and Thunder series, brother, I think you just don't love ball. Bro, these two teams have been marked all season as the best teams in basketball, and finally, we get to see them go head-to-head in a 7-game series. I really do think SGA winning the MVP was the best thing that could have happened for Wemby and Spurs fans. You know he's going to be pissed off about it. You know he's going to be using that as motivation going into this series. Wemby seeing SGA lift the MVP trophy is all of the fuel that he needs to fire his team up for victory. I really do think that this Spurs team is the best possible match against OKC. They both are 10 deep with guys that can play defense and can score. We've yet to see OKC go up against a team that has the depth that the Spurs have. And it's primarily their depth at guard. We talk a lot about Wemby being the leader of this team. They would not be where they are if Steph Castle and Vassell and Harper and Champagny have not become and developed into the players that they are right now. Straight up. Wemby with a bunch of bums will not be able to carry a team to where they're at right now. The development of the guards, the young guards for the Spurs team, is the reason that they're as good as they are right now. But I would be remiss not to mention the 5 games they played against each other this season. Game 1, the Spurs won 111-109 in Las Vegas, which was the NBA Cup semifinals in Vegas. Side note, is primarily a Spurs crowd in that one. OKC was fully healthy. Wemby was on a minutes restriction. It was a back and forth game all day long, and ultimately the Spurs won by 2. In Game 2, the Spurs won 130-110. OKC was once again fully healthy. They got blown out in the fourth quarter of this one and completely ran out of gas. Game 3, Spurs win 117-102. That game was in Oklahoma City, the loudest, baddest, scariest environment in basketball. The Spurs went in there this season, got a 15-point win. OKC was fully healthy, and Wemby was still on a minutes restriction. Game 4, OKC finally got a dub, holding the Spurs to 98, and they put up 119. OKC was fully healthy. No Vassell in this game, and SGA had his best performance in the series with 34 points without Vassell. Are we going to be seeing him guarding SGA this series? I believe we will. Game 5 was a wash. The Spurs won by 10 in San Antonio, but there was no Chet, no SGA, no J-Dub. So by all accounts, in fully healthy games, the Spurs are 3-1 against the Thunder. The one thing to note, though, the guy who defended Wemby the most in those first 3 games was Kenrich Williams. He is not even in the rotation anymore. So, although the regular season games do matter, I really do think we can take those and use those as context going into this series with the Spurs and the Thunder. Very different basketball team. Kenrich Williams was getting 25 minutes a game in that stretch during these games, okay? They also played each other 3 times within 12 days, so it was like a very strange amount of like hyper-intense basketball in a very short amount of time. We can utilize what happened in the regular season. Of course we can. But we all know the playoffs are a different animal, and the way OKC is playing right now is nothing compared to what they were playing like in the regular season. The Thunder obviously have a ton of great defensive guard play from Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, and Cason Wallace, okay? All of their guards defend. J-Dub's a great defender too, okay? But those 3 guys I just named sometimes can be an offensive liability. I do think we will primarily see a 2-man combo of J-Dub, SGA, and AJ Mitchell running the backcourt to carry the offense. I don't think we see all 3 of those guys on the floor at the same time. Really what we're doing is matchups, okay? Matchups are going to be so important in this one. I want you guys to watch the game tonight at 5:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Eastern. I want you to watch the game and just see who's starting. First of all, we don't know the starting lineup, so that's going to determine a lot for me. Who is starting the game and who is matching up against who? Are they going to play AJ Mitchell, J-Dub, and Shea all at the same time? Or are they only going to have 2 of those guys on the floor at the same time while one is resting, okay? Who's the 6th man off the bench? Are you going to start Cason Wallace and Lou Dort? Isaiah Hartenstein? Are you going to have Hart and Chet in the starting lineup at the same time? Is J-Dub even going to start? Are they going to slow roll him in? Is he going to be coming off the bench? Chet is going to be the key factor in this series, says NFL Hot Takes. I hear what you're saying. I'm absolutely with you there. The thing is, we're going to have the scoring talent from the guards, okay? The big question for me is who's playing the 3 and who's playing the 4, because we know Chet's going to have the 5. Are Hartenstein and Chet going to be rotating in and out for each other, or are they both going to be starting and playing in the same lineup? When you play both those big men in the lineup with a 7'6" guy on the team, on the opposing team, the paint gets clogged, right? The Thunder are a good 3-point shooting team, but they're very, very, very good at driving the paint and in the mid-range, okay? If you have all 3 of those big 7-footers out there, there's not a whole lot of room to get to the paint. I see a world where Hartenstein does not start and they roll with the starting lineup of SGA, J-Dub, Cason Wallace, and Lou Dort, and then Chet. I could see that happening. The thing is, though, when you have 2 of the more offensive liability guys on the floor, that's your Lou Dort, your Cason Wallace, and your Alex Caruso's, they need to be able to produce offensively because every single guard for the Spurs can play defense and produce offensively. Cason, Lou Dort, and who did I say? Alex Caruso are literally 40 for 100 from 3 in the postseason. They're a perfect 40%. If they can maintain that shooting stat and stay efficient and be able to score, they're going to be fine. But I do worry about this idea for the Thunder team of not having offensive guard play. If SGA is forced to do too much, it's not going to work. The thing is, both of these teams have 10 deep that can play defense and score on offense. They share a ton of similar strengths, and the outliers in this one are obviously going to be the defensive advantage with Wemby for the Spurs and the scoring advantage with SGA for the Thunder. But the real question to look out for is who is guarding who. It's going to change. It's going to be a mad, mad series for adjustments. Mitch Johnson's a good coach. Dagnall's a great coach. They're going to be adjusting their lineups. Whoever starts game 1, guarantee you is not going to be starting that's not going to be the same starting lineup the last game of the series. There's going to be a lot of chess being played in this one. We're going to be seeing new lineups we have not seen from the Thunder, different rotations from the Spurs. Is Luke Cornett going to be getting a lot of run? I don't know why, but he might be. Listen, the first question to figure out, of course, like I said, is will Isaiah Hartenstein be in the starting lineup? This might be a case, like I said, where if you have two bigs, it might not be the best option for a Thunder team that looks to score in the paint, okay? Also, I worry about Chet getting into foul trouble against Wemby. I worry for any big getting into foul trouble against Wemby. So if you have Hartenstein and Chet on the floor at the same time, and Chet gets 2 quick fouls, he now has to go to the bench. Isaiah Hartenstein now has to carry a ton of load for this team while Chet is out. I think the best move is probably platooning them in and out, okay? Letting them both get 5 fouls per game on Wemby, because they're going to get that. I think Wemby will be at the line probably 8 to 10 times per game. I think a big part of the game is just going to be that we're just going to not let Wemby score easy buckets. We'd rather see him get to the free throw line than to just put up an easy deuce on us, okay? Jared McCain is a huge, huge X factor for the Thunder all postseason long, says JD, and I believe he is going to be a massive, massive X factor in this game. The Thunder have been so good this entire playoffs and this entire season is because of their depth, right? Your team rotates in 8 players, maybe a 9th guy off the bench that gets 5 minutes per game. They rotate 12, and all 12 can score. So that means their stars, their starters, get a ton of more rest than your players usually do. That's not going to be as huge an advantage in this series as it is in past series for the Thunder because the Spurs have not as much, but a ton of depth to go and combat what the Thunder are bringing to the table. SGA's defensive assignment is going to be massive. He's not the best defender on the Thunder. He's probably the worst defender on the Thunder, to be completely honest with you. He's still a plus efficient defender. He's still a very, very good defender, better than most point guards out there. But who he's going to be guarding is going to be massive in this series. Because what the Lakers were able to do, they were able to attack him defensively. A few times they were able to get him in foul trouble slightly early into the game because they attacked him offensively. Who is Shea going to be guarding is going to be massive for the Spurs. Whoever is getting that matchup needs to ball out and put up 25 points. If you're putting him on Steph Castle, who's had an unbelievable postseason and a great round 2, check to see if he makes the round 2 awards, he's going to have to put up 25 points on Shea. You're going to have to try to get Shea in foul trouble as much as possible. On the other end, you want to see the bigs. You want to see Chet get into foul trouble. You want to see Chet get neutralized by Wemby. The hard part is how are they going to get him out of the paint without fouling him? I think you're going to be seeing a lot of 5 out for the Thunder. You're going to see 5 guys outside of the paint running an entire perimeter type thing. Chet will be in the corner over there, J-Dub in the corner over there, and just let SGA kind of cook and play ISO ball. So when the help defender does come, he's usually able to find that wide open guy for 3. The question then becomes, are you going to make your threes? Because if you play 5-out basketball and you're not really a high 3-pointing shooting team like the Thunder is, you can run into a situation where you get away from your game, which is driving the paint. Dog, OKC players are ranked in the top 5 above them. Oh, yeah. All right. Ori the Cat is saying, what? Fox and Castle is the best defensive guard duo in the league? I don't know about that. But I love you. Like I said, this series, literally bring out a notebook and a pen and write down the matchups. See who is guarding who, because that's going to change so much throughout this entire thing. The Spurs game is very, very simple. They have really, really, really good guard play, and they have a 7'6" foot guy. You're going to see the pick and roll a lot in this series, but the help defense from the Thunder is going to negate a lot of the offensive production from the pick and roll. The big thing for me is when Wemby handles the ball. I like when Wemby handles the ball and when he kind of runs the offense a little bit. He's a solid passer, but he gets so much attention from help defenders that it usually leaves guys open. If Jared McCain's out there and gets left open for 3, he's going to hit that shot. He's going to make that. This series is going to be absolutely unbelievable. Gosh dang it. It's all off. It's going to be unbelievable. We are so blessed to have this series bethrown onto us. We haven't seen a team, we haven't seen a finals matchup with 2 teams that have these many wins since Jordan and Stockton on the Jazz went at it in 98, I believe, since the last dance. It's like the last time we've seen 2 teams with these many wins play against each other in the playoffs. It's historic. We're looking at a world where there's a potential that we're seeing this matchup for like the next 5 to 10 years and absolutely loving every single bit of it. We're going to be seeing this MU in the conference championship for like the next 5 years. Hope we get some beef and a rivalry for the future. Missouri? Michigan? Get out of here on Michigan. Not to be overdone by this unbelievable series is the Knicks and the Cavs. Listen, wow, I have so many more notes, and the power hour is pretty much over. I still have my top 5, or my MVP, my round 2 awards, and I have the Knicks and Cavs series to go through. You know what, fellas? I think we're going to take the break now and get those going on the other side. Thank you for watching the TBWZ Power Hour. Like I said, we're going to be doing the Knicks and Cavs breakdown on the other side of the 5-minute break, and then we're also going to be doing the round 2 awards. Those round 2 awards are going to be very fun. Sneak peek, the funniest moment of round 2 was when this happened to Tobias Harris. Yeah. Play. Good job, Zach. Really, really good job. Way to bring this thing to it. Oh! Got crossed so hard he broke his hip. Grabbed his balls. Funniest moment of round 2 by a landslide. Fellas, I'll see you guys in 5 minutes after this break. Peace. How you doing, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Calling from Tustin. Name's Nana.
Oh my gosh, Nana, how you doing? This is my grandmother. My grandmother's calling in the show. Guys in the chat, drop a Nana in the chat. Nana, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good. I've got you put you on at noon, and I've got you live in my living room.
Okay.
And I really like it, and you're doing a good job.
Good. Did you see the band person that we were talking about?
Yeah.
There you go. Everyone's dropping nanas all over the chat. This is awesome. People are loving it. And the TikTok. Guys, if you want to hear this conversation, I'm on the phone right now with my grandma. You can follow us over here on the other apps if you want to. So, Nana, you are an avid sports fan. What's up, Lil C? So, my grandma's on the phone right now. You're an avid sports fan. And one of my favorite things about you is your love for the Anaheim Angels. And that started when you were very, very young, correct?
Very, very, very young. Yeah, right. And I do love those Angels.
And every single game, you listen to every game on the radio.
Yes, I do.
Is there a do you prefer it over the TV?
Oh, because I can't stand those two announcers on television. Okay. All they do is talk about fastballs, slow balls, any balls. I don't care about what went across the plate. I want to know more about the players themselves, a little bit of strategy into the game, and that. I don't care about those balls.
So you don't care that the guy's throwing a slider. You want to know that he grew up in Mission Viejo and he went to this high school and his mom worked at a church his entire life. You want to learn that stuff.
Some of that, but not all of it. But I'd like to learn some strategy, like why do they bunt the ball in some of the situations? You know, so they could share some strategy with the people that are listening on the radio.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, when baseball was first around, the only way to really get the games was on the radio. It took a while for you to be able to see all the games on television, correct?
Are we talking are we still talking Angels or are we talking ancient history?
Well, so we'll talk all because the Angels started in the 60s, correct?
Yes.
So then what was like you grew up in Denver and you guys didn't have a team. So what was your team before the Angels were around?
Oh, the New York Yankees. They were the top team back then. You know, they had some really key players there. They had Babe Ruth and those guys. And like I told you, we didn't see the scores on radio or television. Well, we didn't have TV, but at the schools, they would put out the big chalkboards and they would put the game on the chalkboards inning by inning so we knew what the score was. And that was for the World Series.
So at school during the World Series, the teacher was like doing a live box score so everyone knew what was going on?
That I don't know because they just had the chalkboard placed outside. So when you went out for recess, you got the scores out there.
That's so cool. And it really was at that time, like baseball was America's pretty much like premier sport. Like everyone was a baseball fan, right?
Yeah, basically, yes, because all the games were mostly back east. And, Denver didn't have anything. And it was, and like you said, it was baseball, the game to watch. And there was some basketball, but not like today.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons I love baseball so much is because you always loved baseball. And you imparted that on me, and you got to watch me play a lot of baseball. Some of the guys in the chat, I've told them that I was one of the best baseball players to ever exist in Orange County. I'm very humble about it. Can you just tell them how good?
Truly were.
There we go.
When you got out on that mound, I mean, hey, it was lights out. You know that.
There we go. Thank you, Nana. Do you have before we let you go? I mean, obviously you're probably hanging out today, having some fun, and we absolutely love that you're listening to the show. It really makes me so happy to know that you're listening along. Do you have a particular baseball memory, being a young girl, growing up with the sport for so long? Do you have a particular baseball memory? No, she doesn't. The only reason I included that clip, and yo, W Nana, I love you guys. She loves you too. She might be watching. Be nice to Nana, always. I only include that clip because it includes the part where she lets you guys know I was one of the best baseball players to ever exist at the age of 12. Bro, when I was 12, I was so good at baseball. I still every once in a while wake up and I'm like, I feel good today because I was good at baseball and I was 12 years old. Let's go. And my team won a lot of games, unlike Oreos. Sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. Fellas, we're going to be going live on TikTok right now. And I'm live right now with my round 2 awards. I also have my bracket up for what I have for the playoffs, for the Western Conference Finals, my predictions there. Between you and me, I do have the Knicks and the Cavs going 7, but I have the Knicks finishing them off in the Garden in an unbelievable matchup. And then in the Spurs and OKC game series, bro, I've got the Thunder in 5, bro. I've got the Thunder in 5. But before we go into any of those, I want to do my round 2 of the NBA. Horrible talking. My NBA round 2 awards. So, my MVP of the round 2, give it up for none other than Mr. Jalen Brunson. Bro was at... Wait, do you actually? Yes, I do. I have OKC in 5. Jalen Brunson averaged 29 points per game in round 2. It was an unreal offensive performance from all of the Knicks, but he was the head of that. He is the true king of New York. Jalen Brunson is my MVP. My silent killer of round 2, I got to give it up to my guy, AJ Mitchell, bro. Now, not silent killer is your guy that kind of is your lunch pail guy. He takes his lunch to work, clocks in, and does his thing. Rookie of the second round, it's right there, MVR. You can see it on the screen, Gio. Not a lot of dudes knew this guy's name before this series where he averaged 20 points per game. And since Shea was getting absolutely doubled to crap by the Lakers, he had to be the leading scorer on this team, and he absolutely was. AJ Mitchell, silent killer of round 2. My most valuable rookie of round 2. This one was very, very easy. We had to give it up to our boy Dylan Harper. Showing a little bit of Spurs love, bro. He had a block or a steal in every single game. He added a ton of value to this team on defense and offense coming off the bench. Man, Dylan Harper looks like a legit talent in this league. And this being his rookie year and getting all this experience, the sky is the roof. I don't know the term. Dylan Harper, good at basketball. Coach of the round, I have my guy, Mike Brown. Bro pushed all the right buttons to unlock Karl Anthony Towns and neutralize everything Philly threw their way, including Joel Embiid. Something we did not necessarily think was going to be possible. Sky is the limit. Thank you, NATO. Cheers to you, brother. You are the absolute man. Thank you, NATO, for being here. Pin you. My best European, this one was also quite easy. We had to give it up to our guy, Victor Wembanyama. Wemby is, it's the best way I could describe it is animalistic predatory behavior on defense. That's That is the best way I can describe what Victor Wembanyama does, is animalistic predatory behavior on defense. He was also averaging 20 and 12 in this series. We had a lot of talk about his offense kind of dropping off in the playoffs, and he picked it right back up in round 2. The white boy of round 2, Chet Holmgren, brother. Mr. Consistent Chet. He held his own in this series and really dominated inside against DeAndre Ayton, which is not that hard to do, but he was consistent night in and night out on getting this done. For the Twitch people, that's not it. I'm going to pull it up for you guys so you guys can also see what everyone is seeing on TikTok.com. If you're in the TikTok, what up, bro? Show some love. We're also live on Twitch and YouTube if you prefer to watch over there. But if not, TikTok will do the trick, bro. White boy of the round was Chet Holmgren, and the moment of round 2 of the NBA playoffs was so obviously the Victor elbow. That was awesome. There was no greater moment in round 2 than watching Victor Wembanyama go full WWE mode on our boy Naz Reid and try to knock his teeth out. I mean, what else was there in round 2 aside from Luka calling out Shams for inaccurate reporting? There wasn't a whole lot in this series. Obviously, you had like New York being New York. Not go New York, go. Game 7 was like fun. Cade was a beast. James Harden being turning the ball over a lot was kind of fun. But ultimately, the moment of the year was Victor Wembanyama's elbow. Sorry, of the round. Z Bamber, who do I think is winning the chip? I will get to that in just a moment, brother. But the atmosphere of the round, for round 1, it was OKC because of how great that atmosphere was. I thought it was going to be Spurs this round. It was not. It was MSG East. See, JD? MSG East was so awesome to see. All of New York seemed to show up in Philadelphia for that game. MSG East was my atmosphere. Most creative mind of all time. This is a basketball list. Dylan. Most creative mind of all time. Pablo Picasso. I don't know. Probably Andy Warhol. He made movies and stuff. Or Mick Jagger. Actually, John Lennon. I don't know. Me. The freaky out of the round was Alex Caruso. Now, this award is about playing defense. It's about talking trash. It's about getting under people's skins and getting out there and getting the dub. That is Alex Caruso to a T. But, of course, the funniest moment of the round was Tobias Harris's hip breaker. Spider Mitchell crossed him so hard, I think he tore his hip flexor. That was the best moment I saw. That was the funniest moment by far of round 2. Fellas, in the TikTok, in the chat, hanging out. Tell me what I got wrong or what I got right. Let me know what I did on this list that should need some improvement. I'm talking about you, bro. Dylan, wow. Bro, Dylan, are you serious right now? Let's go, bro. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, love you. Thank you for following the show. AJ Mitchell should have won most improved player this season. Huh, interesting. Before the postseason started, I don't agree with you, but like after that second round against the Lakers, yeah, I think I do agree with you. Nickeil Alexander-Walker just took an actual like legit step, and he was a starter for that team. I know AJ Mitchell got a ton of run because J-Dub was hurt. He did improve a lot on his season from last year because he got just purely the minutes. But that's the thing about the Thunder is like they have so many guys that could be good. Luke Cornett is white boy, played amazing versus Rudy. Luke, yo, thank you for the follow. Vanilla. Luke Cornett was in the running for white boy. I promise you that. He was. But, I mean, ultimately, Chet was just so consistent in this thing that we had to give to Chet Holmgren for white boy of the round. I know this is what you guys wanted to see. Now we're doing it. My conference finals bracket right there. In all of its glory, there she blows. I've got the Thunder in 5. I got the Knicks in 7. And then in the championship, I do have the Thunder beating the Knicks 4-1. I've done it, dude. I've crowned the king, the Thunder. Congratulations, brother. You are winning the NBA championship. Knicks in 5, Knicks in 5. All right, now they're coming. Here they go. Here they go. What do I mean, best injury? Did I have that on there? I missed best injury. I didn't include a best injury on this one because I didn't have anyone like truly get injured. Oh, best injury. I didn't even fill it out. Do you guys want to help me with that one? If you guys have a good one for me, There wasn't really a fun one. Wemby hitting his face was the round 1 injury of the year. I guess it'd probably be Tobias Harris. Anthony Edwards was not a good injury. That was just a sad injury. Nick, I'll take you in a little bit. The Tobias Harris one had to be the injury of the round, just because it was absolutely hilarious. It was the funniest thing that we saw. Wow, he got funniest moment and best injury. Congrats to Tobias Harris. You're welcome on TBWZ whenever you want, brother. What's up, Lil Chev? What's up, Pablo? What's up, Charlie? What's up, Billy? What's up, Sneed? Everyone hanging out. Rivers in here. Spurs winning in 4. Bro. Delusional. Thunder in 5. Crazy. Why? Tell me, Isaac. Tell me why. Tell me why you cry. Oh, why you lie to me. How do you feel about the SGA MVP, brother? We can talk about that right now. We can go back and forth all day on the MVP. I do think SGA deserved to win the MVP. The real issue here is actually the etymology behind the word value. That is what is messing people up. This is just a blank piece of paper that somehow made it into my notes. The etymology of the word value is what causes a rift between sports fans around the world. Because if we're doing a value thing, like who was the most valuable, adding worth, Jaylen Brown would have been the MVP. It's not about value. I think we changed the name of MVP. I honestly think the name MVP needs to change into something different. I personally think we should have the Offensive Player of the Year, which would have been Jokic, the Defensive Player of the Year, which was Wemby and would have been Wemby, and the last award, I've kind of called it the crown. Like you get to hold the crown of the NBA. And it's an actual crown. Like you actually get a crown. All it is like that's the dude who sits at the head of the table. That's the big man on campus. That's the top dog. For me, that's what the MVP award should be. But by throwing in the word value, it allows us to be like, well, if you take Jokic off the Nuggets are going to be a play-in team. And if you take SGA off the Thunder, then the Thunder are still going to be a playoff team. So, ergo, Jokic adds more value to... Nah, that's not the award. The award is who was the best player this season. That's the award. Okay? I know you and I are going to argue about, but it says who's the most valuable player. No. The award is who is the best player at basketball this season. For all my money's worth, it was SGA this year. Anyone with more than TikTok ball knowledge knows SGA deserved it. There we go. What up, Charlie? What's up, Sugo? My guy. XD1 is in here. Luka didn't get a single vote, but he finished 3rd. Yeah, Cade had 2 first-place votes. Luka had no first-place votes, but he did get a bunch of second-place votes. Spurs in 4, said Nick. That's crazy. Finally, you not going against New York. Logan, I know. If it was Detroit, I would have had New York. I would have had Detroit in like 5 or something super disrespectful like that. But what's up, Diddley? I do ultimately have the Knicks beating the Cavs in 7 on this one. Most best player, that's it. That's what we should do. The MVP. Bro, stop spamming, but I'm going to pin your comment, Dreamville. That was awesome. Fellas, the numbers at the top of the screen is 213-352-5216. If you want to call in and talk ball, we're opening up the phone lines right now with this fella right here. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
I'm Nick from New York again. What's up?
Nick from New York calling in, my guy. How are you doing today, Nick?
I'm doing good. I came in to talk about, I think I like the awards. I also think that you should swap, like you had Thunder in 5, Knicks in 7. I think you put the Thunder in 7, the Knicks in 5. Actually, no, the Spurs in 7.
I am so confused at what you're saying. Can we just like reverse real quick and tell me again? So who do you have in these series? Nick from New York?
I'll just say it blatantly clear. Spurs in 7, Knicks in 5.
Spurs in 7, Knicks in 5. So you kind of like reverse the roles a little bit on me here. What makes you think that the Spurs are going to be able to get past OKC? Because, dude, they haven't lost a game this playoffs. They look crazy dominant.
I know, but the thing is they played 2 pretty bad teams. I mean, the Suns aren't very good, and the Lakers without Luka, I think the Rockets had no chance to winning a playoff series no matter who they played. They just having a man as your point guard. He's not a true point guard. He can't run a team as a point guard. So I feel like those were 2 easy matchups. Now they're facing a team a lot tougher where they haven't faced a good team all playoffs. So I don't know if they could, like, the Spurs can go out and surprise them. I think they can. Plus, Wembanyama, like, he makes them such a big defensive anchor.
He does. I think a big part of this game is, or this series in general, is who is going to be guarding who in this one. Obviously, I think a big part for the Spurs, thank you, Joe, is going to be attacking SGA on defense, because although all the other guards are solid at defense, and so is SGA, he's a plus efficiency defender. But ultimately, I think you attack Shea, try to get him in foul trouble early. My big question for you, do you think that Hartenstein and Chet are going to be starting together? Because if you have Hartenstein, Chet, and Wemby in the paint, it really clogs up the paint a lot for the Thunder, who are trying to score inside.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, Jalen Williams is going to play, right?
He is going to play. That is a great segue. Jalen Williams is going to play. He's going to put up some buckets, obviously, in this one. Nick, you are so unbelievable. You're in the TBWZ bracket. You're doing pretty good, huh?
What am I ranked? I haven't checked yet.
I think you're third, brother. I think you're third. Before you go, what did you feel about me giving the white boy of round 2 to Chet Holmgren?
It depends who you consider white.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Nick, that is the best thing you could have possibly said, brother. Unbelievable first call of the day. God bless you, Nick. We'll talk soon.
All right, bye. Thank you.
What do you consider white? That's the question of the day. He said that's the thing, though. Okay, let's talk about this. When you have a mixed athlete, right, they're always black. Okay? We're not going to look at a mixed athlete and be like, oh, he's a white boy. Like, Luke Kennard. That is a bona fide white boy. Hartenstein, that is a white boy, even though he's actually mixed. That was a bad example. Let's just keep rolling. If you consider Luka white, then he wins the white boy of the year. Yes, I do not consider him white, though, because he's European. European white is very different than American white, as you know. Wolves in 6. Jay Satz, I had much worse than that. I went 0-4 last week. MVP, thank you for the follow, bro. But Wemby is white. So there we go. Wemby has a white mom, black dad. Is Wemby considered white? No. It's an outward physical appearance thing. So when I give my white boy of the year to Chet, bro, or white boy of the round, I keep saying of the year. I need to stop messing up. No more mistakes the rest of the show. You guys got me? Why not Cooper Flag? This is a round 2 awards. He's also French. No, that's the other thing, Chev. He's French. Bro, Chev, you get the show, dude. I cannot tell what Victor Wembanyama is because he has a black dad, white mom, so he's obviously mixed there. He's black presenting, but he's white on the interior. You know what I mean? He's definitely white on the inside. He's super, super French and very European. Wow, guys. I think Victor Wembanyama is white. I think he's a white guy. Missed the days when we had Brian Scalabrine, guaranteed winner every year of White Boy of the Round. Absolutely. Ligers come in different shapes and sizes. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. Which name were you calling from?
Charlie from Alabama.
Charlie calling in from Alabama. Have you called into the show before?
I think I called right after the draft lottery.
I absolutely love it, brother. Charlie, great to have you calling into the show. What do you want to talk about today?
I had some other points, but the white boy of the round.
Yeah, it's an important topic of discussion. I'm glad we're having it.
Mm-hmm. So, you look at Game 6 for the Pistons, right?
Oh,
what about a guy like Duncan Robinson? Comes in, hits some threes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Maybe not, the top of the line guy like Chet, but, he's coming in there doing his job and trying to get that team that win. I know, they lost to the Cavs, but, he's been a pretty crucial part of that team this year.
He has been. I even, as I was making the list, Sam Merrill had an unbelievable Game 7 last night. He was a huge reason that the Cavs advanced. He was in the running for White Boy of the Round. I think I just ended up with Chet because he had consistency throughout. Charlie, being that you're from Alabama, you'll help us out with this one. Wembanyama, he's black presenting, but he has mixed parents, but he's very, very French. Is Wemby white or black?
I would say in this situation, you kind of got to look at it like Blake Griffin. Like, he looks more white, but he's also mixed.
Yeah. And he plays black.
Yeah, like he's a great player. And then later in the career when he went to Detroit, how he evolved his game.
Yeah. Huh. I think we might have to do like a whole off-season deep dive into the actual ethnic background of Victor Wembanyama and able to figure it out for ourselves. Charlie, unbelievable stuff calling into the show, getting us going today. Who do you have in this Spurs and Thunder series?
Honestly, I've liked how the Spurs have been playing. The Thunder, like in terms of centers, with the Lakers, they didn't really have big competition there.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton did about nothing in that game 4. I like the Spurs. I like the Spurs there. I think I had them in 5 or 6, honestly.
Spurs in 5 or 6. I absolutely. Charlie, before you go, any news or notes that you have on the Alabama Crimson Tide?
Honestly, I like our projections with LeBaron in the draft.
Who's going to start?
Like, what do you like for
at quarterback?
Our team this year?
Yeah, at
quarterback. Oh, at quarterback. Okay. Honestly, hold on. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a while since I've watched college football.
It's probably the kid who came in during the end of the Rose Bowl against Indiana. I thought he came in for Ty Simpson, although it was a blowout. He did play some good football down the stretch. I've just been hearing a lot of back and forth on who's actually going to be starting for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah. I like Austin Mack, honestly. We also got Keelan Russell, the young quarterback. We also have a few like 2027, 28 quarterback prospects coming in. So you should be pretty comfortable for the next few years if they can develop pretty good.
Charlie, I absolutely love it, bro. God bless you. Thanks for calling. We'll talk soon.
All right. Appreciate it.
Peace. You guys who are making fun of me for going 0-4, it's harder to go 0-4 than it is to go 4-0. Like an imperfect bracket in the NCAA tournament would be like harder to do than a perfect bracket. To get every single game completely wrong, it takes skill. Yeah, I got all 4 series wrong last time out. Who cares? It's a new series. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. Which name are you calling in from?
What's up, brother? My name's Hunter, calling from Texas.
Hunter from Texas. Big state, brother. What part?
It's like small town, but closest to Houston.
Close to Houston. I absolutely love it, brother. You are calling into the show. What did you have for us today?
Hey, man, I need that Spurs disrespect to stop, man. Spurs are gonna sweep the Thunder.
You have a 4-game sweep. Can you tell me? Can you just enlighten the people a little bit on how the Spurs are going to get that one done? Because I see a bunch of people going back and forth on the X's and O's, but you are a man in the state of Texas. If anybody knows how they're going to get it done, it's you, brother. Let us know.
Hey, man, people are looking at Wemby like he's going to be the savior.
Yeah.
But these last 2 playoff series, I've seen some great point guarding from De'Aaron Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Finding the open man, he's not selfish with the ball. He's not forcing shots, and he don't mind dropping 2 points, but 9 assists and a few steals.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, bro, it's wet pajamas, who's your mama, Wembanyama, Spurs and 4.
Hunter, that was the best rhyme we've gotten in a long time, brother. If you don't have anything else, great talking to you, bro. God bless. We'll talk soon.
Oh, and another thing too. Don't sleep on Donovan Mitchell, bro.
What about him?
Oh, he's beating the Knicks. They might get it done legitimately.
You have a Cavs and Spurs final?
Yeah, and I got the Cavs winning it up.
Oh my gosh. Hunter, unbelievable stuff. New York fans are absolutely going to go after you right now in the chat. I cannot wait to see that happen. Bro, I think it's good stuff. My big thing, like you said, is it's not necessarily Wembanyama. I think it's the guard play. I think attacking SGA defensively is going to be big. So, who he's matched up with is going to be massive in this series. I also think we're going to see a ton of different lineups, and Mitch Johnson has Pop in his ear, helping him along the way. I really do think this thing comes down to coaching.
Yeah, and like you said, Pop will be in his ear. Can you name a coach better all time than Pop? And don't say Phil.
I'm a Lakers fan. I'm a Lakers fan. I got to say Phil, but according to you, it's a lie. We're all good because we're brothers like that. Dude, you remember what it was like when the Spurs and the Lakers went at it in the Western Conference Finals for like 10 straight years? Are we getting another one of those with these two teams?
Potentially, man. I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I think a lot of Mavericks fans have gone to the Spurs, and I don't think being in Texas, if you're a Rockets, Mavs, or Spurs fan, you can be a bandwagon.
Yeah.
It's in Texas.
Yeah.
So all those Mavericks fans, they have love for Luka, but there's a new guy. There's a new cowboy around here. He's got the big iron on his hip. So we could see Luka Wendy matched up the next 3 years.
Wow. I absolutely love it. Hunter from Texas, you're the absolute man. God bless. We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir.
Peace. Thunder in 5 in what world? In this world, brother. Do you know since last year's conference finals, the Thunder have lost 21 games? They lost 18 times in the regular season. They lost 3 times in the finals to the Pacers. Sorry, brother. That's the best team in basketball, and it's the best team all year, and it's the best team that you'll see in the postseason. That team is so deep. That team is so crazy. I know Victor Wembanyama causes a lot of problems. I just think the Thunder have enough pieces to get through that. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello again. It's Will from New York.
Will from New York. What is up, brother? How are you doing today?
Good. We just had field day today. I kind of faded the last part, not going to lie.
What is field day?
You've never done field day? Like when they do all with the kickball and all of that?
Oh, you just went and played outside at school?
Yeah.
That sounds absolutely epic. So
those two last people were on, and we're talking about, and I see on your screen that you think the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Spurs are the Cavaliers are gonna beat the Knicks. Come on, bro.
No, I have the Knicks in 7.
Oh, Knicks in 7. Oh.
But then I have the Knicks getting swept in the championship round, gentlemen.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think here's the thing, Cavs. For the Eastern Conference Finals, I got the best rhyme of the day.
Okay.
The Cavs shoot bricks. So does Mitchell. Knicks in 6.
Okay? I think you might have messed that one up. First of all, you came onto this live getting mad at me for picking the Cavaliers over the Knicks, even though I picked the Knicks over the Cavs. So that's strike 1, brother. Strike 2.
Wait.
Strike 2. You came in and you said I have the greatest rhyme of the conference finals, and you tried to rhyme it Knicks with Mitchell.
That came off the tongue really wrong.
You got to twist it. But it was field day. It was field day, so you have a built-in excuse. Will, can you give us the rhyme one more time and get it all in time?
The Cavaliers shoot bricks. I'm not going to even attempt it.
Will, you're the absolute man, bro. In the Thunder and Spurs series, I have the Thunder in 5, and people think I'm the biggest idiot in the world. Who do you have in that one?
Obviously, the Knicks.
In the Thunder and Spurs series, Will has the Knicks.
Sorry. I thought you were talking about the Cavaliers versus Knicks. I think the Spurs, honestly. You know what? I've heard a lot of reports lately, and I think they're kind of the team who's going to do it. Also, you got to think about it for a minute. They've beaten the Thunder every time in the regular season, so I think it's going to be the Spurs.
4-1 against the Thunder in the regular season for the Spurs. Yeah. Hey, Will, I mean this in the actual, the best way possible. This might just go down as the worst call we've ever gotten in TBW history, and I love it, bro.
You love it, even though it's the first one.
No, because everyone's gonna remember this call. Is it cool if I clip some of it and put it on TikTok and post it?
I mean, sure, it'd be funny.
Bro, Will, you have just become a legend of the TBWZ universe. You will never be forgotten. Brother, thank you for calling in. We'll talk soon.
Talk soon.
Peace. My guy, bro. My guy Will brought the heat today. That is so there's two things when you call into the show. You either come in with your own stats, your own take, ready to go and ready to rock. Are they already going into the... When is this Buffalo and... When is the Sabres and Canadiens game? 4:30? Jeez. You either come in with like your takes ready to rock and ready to say some things, or you just come in completely bomb. And dude, whatever you guys choose to do is the absolute best thing possible. Clip farming after field day is crazy work, Amir. Wow, Amir, that's so funny. I gotta pin that one. That is up there with joke of the day so far, bro. TBW history. I did say TBW history. Thank you, Oreo, for catching that mistake. There's not a single mistake that'll slide past Oreo the cat. But we do already have for rhyme of the day. We do have wet pajamas, lose your mama, Wembenyama, Spurs in 4. That one was unbelievable. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. Which name are you calling in from?
Brendan from New York.
Brendan from New York. You've called into the show before, brother. How was your day?
Good. How about you?
You know, it was chill. I was just hanging out, doing a bunch of writing, figuring some stuff out. I wrote a whole essay on how bad my Anaheim Angels are, but I'd be remiss to do that again, brother. You called into the show. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about your prediction. Why do you think OKC wins in 5?
I think they're the best team in basketball. Like, really, really good. I think they're 8-0 in the playoffs so far. Since this time last year, in the past calendar year, since the Western Conference Finals of last season, they've only lost 21 times. Well, that's pretty good. I also saw the Spurs, kind of battle it out with a very, very, very injured Minnesota team, and also lost a game to Portland. And OKC has swept, and they have never really been down once in the entire playoffs. I just think they're so dominant right now.
I got Spurs in 6. I was looking at what they play already. Spurs won regular season 3-1. I know it's the regular season, but I mean, I just feel like they're just gonna take it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are doing like a wishful thinking type thing. I want the Spurs to win. I don't want to see OKC advance. In my bracket, I picked the Spurs. So it's like, I want them, but I just, I feel like OKC is just going to break our heart.
Yeah. I thought you got Knicks in 7. I think the Heat get 6.
So you're arguing about one game with me?
What?
You're arguing about one game with me?
Maybe 5. It's 5 or 6. That's what I had. I have 5 or 6. I think we win at 5 though.
I think so. You're a Knicks fan, right?
Yeah, I think they take game 1 because we've had a long break. Or I think our break was a little too long, and I think we win the next 4.
Brendan, I know what it is. Since you're a Knicks fan, you already think you're going to advance to the finals. You think that you have a better chance at beating the Spurs than you do OKC, so that's why all of you are picking the Spurs.
No, I honestly just think the Spurs are going to win it. I mean, the Spurs have already proved that they're the best. They have the best chance at beating OKC.
So who do you think you have a better chance of beating in the finals? The Spurs or the Thunder?
Oh, Spurs for sure. Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm not going to say for sure because they'd both be really tough. But I would rather just play the team than play the team and the refs.
I absolutely love it, bro. Brendan, you're calling into the show. Absolutely love you following along and talking ball with us. God bless, bro. We'll talk soon.
Yep, have a good day.
Peace. What up, Mirza? Raptors the only good team for real? I absolutely love that. Dude, the Raptors took the Cavs to 7, and the Cavs are now in the one of the more disappointing Eastern Conference teams I've seen in a long time. But, dude, when they play well and the Cavs play like a cohesive unit, they're one of the best teams in basketball. Bro just said Knicks in 6. Oh, you're mad at the Knicks in 7. Bro, you guys are, oh my gosh. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. Which name are you calling in from?
Yeah, my name's Taylor. I'm from Oklahoma City.
Taylor from OKC, born and raised?
Yeah, formative years, yeah. From Missouri, but yeah, pretty much. I was seeing if you would do a football take.
I could roll some football with you. What's up?
Yeah, so every year there's always a team that kind of pushes for a run that never really gets talked about. So, like, obviously last year, like the Patriots and the Seahawks were in the Super Bowl. This year, I'm like really high on the Commanders. We're 1 year away from Jaden Daniels like having the best rookie season ever, and Dan Quinn, I think he's just a good coach, and they've really like changed their front seven over. I feel like it's just no one's talking about that team.
I agree. I hear a lot of people from the DMV area call into the show. That's a very passionate fan base, and they're pretty high on themselves. But the national media, no, I haven't thought a lot about them or heard a lot. I think they will improve. That division is going to be really, really tough. When I look at a team that might go from like 0 to hero and be talked about a lot more, is a team in an easier division. Honestly, like the New Orleans Saints, like Tyler Shuck was very impressive last year. I think they could be a very good ball team. Who's your team? Are you a Commanders fan?
No, I'm a Chiefs fan. I know we can bring the hate on, and I know we're in the same division. So
no, we are. Go Bolts.
Yeah.
First of all, but is Pat Mahomes going to be healthy to start it?
I think he is. All news says he's in OTAs right now. He's throwing the ball. Yeah, they're probably not going to do anything preseason, and we're not going to see anything. But I think he's going to be ready to roll in week 1.
Do you want to see a reunion with Tyreek Hill?
Yes, I do, and I think it's the only one that makes sense. Now, he's going to be like that third kind of Mecole Hardman kind of like role if he came back in there. But I would like – I mean, he's so problematic. I don't think another team's going to like want him, and I think we're going to get him for pennies on the dollars for like $3 or $4 million, maybe $7 million at the most. Mm-hmm. And then you can just plop him in there, and he's that kind of slot wheel guy, doing whip routes and stuff, and hopefully that knee can handle.
A big part of, I think, the Chiefs' success is having Eric Bieniemy back. I mean, no one really understands. Like, that dude was one of the big reasons you guys went on that run and won all those Super Bowls and started that mini dynasty. Like, I think having Eric Bieniemy back in office is going to be really, really good for Mahomes and for that team.
So I'm sure you know a lot about, like, kind of the culture. Like, it's not because he's, like, the X's and O's guy. It's more of, like, he would yell at the team and get them for brass tacks to kind of, like, make them focus.
Yeah.
He was kind of the disciplinary, and I think we lost that. Matt Nagy's, like, a little too nice and a little too fluffy. And I think kind of having a hard ass back in there to kind of I'm all about that.
Me too, Taylor. I absolutely love it. Speaking of that kind of energy and that kind of level of discipline, in a minute or less, your OKC Thunder, I think, are going to be taking on the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals starting tonight. How do you feel about this series? Which way do you think it goes?
I think the Thunder win in 6. I think it's going to be a good series. I think it's close. I think this is the best team to beat the Thunder. Like, I think, like, Wemby does put some, like, real problems for it, but having Chet on them and how good we are permanently, like, for defense, I think we're gonna seatbelt them. We're gonna strap them up. So
I absolutely love it. Taylor from OKC, thank you for following. Thank you for calling. God bless. We'll talk soon.
Appreciate it, brother.
Peace. What a beast, bro. Jacob said I was so wrong about my other predictions. Which ones? These ones? What, I had Sixers in 7. Okay, that was wrong. I had Lakers in 6 against the Thunder. Yeah, I guess that was wrong. Wolves in 6. Oh, geez. And then Pistons. Oh, wow. Yeah. I was quite wrong with my round 2 predictions. What's up, Cooper? W. Crispy said Tony Red on the YouTube chat. What up, bro? Hanging crispy style. Hanging out like crispy chicken, brother. I'm surprised people are as like up in arms about me taking OKC in 5. I'm. You guys are all doing like such a how do I even put this? You're doing such wishful thinking. You don't want to see the Thunder win. That's what it is. It's a bunch of New York fans getting in the chat and being like, "No, the Spurs are going to win it," because they think they match up better against the Spurs than they do OKC. You're doing just wishful thinking that you hope that the Thunder lose because you don't want to play them in the later rounds. Everyone can sit here and hope and hope and hope and wish and wish and wish. That's just not true, though. What I've seen is the most dominant team in basketball not lose a single game in the playoffs. I've seen them roll through opponent after opponent. I saw the Spurs struggle against a incredibly injured Minnesota team. I also saw them lose a game to Portland and play that one close. I didn't even see OKC play a close game until game 4 against the Lakers when their backs were against the wall, and they still won that thing by like 8. Listen, I love this Spurs team. I think they're very, very good. Last year, all of you were saying that OKC couldn't win because that team was too young. This Spurs team is younger, is less experienced than that OKC team was. This is their first run to the playoffs. So how come we can't keep that same energy from last year, right? You really think that an unexperienced team like the Spurs, who have never even been to the conference finals before, this group of guys, the furthest any of them have gotten is Harrison Barnes winning the whole thing. Harrison Barnes is like 37 years old, though. The core of this team has not even come close to being in the playoffs, and now they're playing in the Western Conference Finals on the road at a home court disadvantage against one of the best teams we've ever seen in basketball, and you guys are like Spurs in 6. Okay. You said Lakers could beat OKC, but Spurs can't. Well, the Lakers are the best team in basketball, Jackson. It's my favorite team. Of course, I'm going to ride or die with my team. What the heck do you think I am, a loser? In 5 is crazy? Why do you say it's crazy? So they win both games at home, and they're up 2-0, and then they split on the road. Now they're up 3-1, and then they win the home game. That's 5. That's it. That's OKC in 5. How does that sound crazy? You don't want to see me share the live? Unbelievable stuff. GGW with the follow. Thank you, bro. Also, the Portland game was when Wemby got hurt. They were playing better without Wemby, though, to be honest with you. They did play a lot better without Wemby. They were gonna lose that game with or without Wemby in the lineup, in my opinion. They also, every single first half are down. They're like losing every single first half. And then they find a way to win in the fourth quarter, which the Thunder are pretty much wire to wire. Somewhat. Cavs beating the Knicks, by the way. Dean, I would love to have you call into the show and tell me why the Cavs are beating the Knicks. Bro, I think the Cavaliers have been quite mediocre in the playoffs this far after lazily getting through the Raptors in 7. And although Detroit was the number 1 seed, I thought it was obvious that the Cavs were the more talented team in that series, going into Game 7, where they played their best game of the playoffs so far. Now, if the Cavaliers can play that level of basketball that they played in Game 7 last night, bro, they'll probably sweep the Knicks. They probably would sweep through New York. I don't trust this team to play a good basketball game, though. I don't trust them to put 48 minutes together. Eventually, you got to understand that, like, maybe this team is just mediocre. That being said, though, the Cavs do have an advantage on paper in the front court against this Knicks team. Mitchell Robinson, though, historically has been really, really good against the Cavs. So, is Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson going to do enough against Mobley and Jared Allen? Are Mobley and Jared Allen even going to show up? Because we've seen those guys disappear a lot throughout the playoffs. I think the front court is very important. Obviously, I mean, who Jalen Brunson guards is going to be massive, okay? Because Jalen Brunson is a total cone on defense. So, is he going to be guarding Harden? I don't think so. Is he going to be guarding Spida Mitchell? I definitely don't think so. So, who's that guy that he's going to guard? Are the Knicks going to start Mitchell Robinson and Cat to combat Mobley and Jared Allen? I think matchups are going to be really, really big in both conference finals, man. Really, really big. Because both teams can kind of match up pretty well with each other, right? It's not like what we were seeing with Wemby versus Portland. Like, Donovan Clingan was not going to do a thing against Wemby, right? Even though he didn't have that good of a series. Maybe that's a horrible point. The matchups are going to be so big in both of these rounds. I think it's really important to see who's guarding who. Robinson in limited minutes, 2023, they lost Hartenstein and Toppin. I don't know what you mean. What do I do for work? This. I edit. I'm an editor. Anytime OKC beat the Knicks, it was by 1 or 2 points, not by 30 or 40-point blowouts. Are we talking about the regular season? We are winning both in OKC and both in San Antonio. Oreo, I love the energy, brother. Spurs winning the chip, said DDC Woo. It's going to be tough. Zach, how do you think the Knicks are going to be able to stop Donovan, Mobley, and Jared Allen? Well, don't forget about James Harden. I think it's with depth, dude. I think it's clearly with depth. Cleveland does not have the same depth that New York has, right? New York is going to be able to bring in Landry Shamet, and they're going to be able to bring in Jose Alvarado and Deuce McBride. Hey, Deuce McBride might not even start, bro. I don't know. Mikal Bridges is an insane defender, right? Josh Hart is an insane defender. You have depth on that team. The Cavs really don't. Odds are, like, their depth is going to be Dean Wade. I think Keon Ellis should get some run in this one. I don't know what I'm doing there. I think Keon Ellis should absolutely get some run. He's probably their best, like, perimeter defender. He'd probably be the guy that I would want on Jalen Brunson. Because although Dean Wade is most likely going to be starting, I don't know if Dean Wade is going to be guarding the 1. I don't know, bro. Thunder in 5 versus Spurs? Yes. My opinion, though, not everyone's going to agree. Grinch said, I'm not mad. I just feel the way the Knicks are playing, we could take it. In the finals against the Thunder? I mean, once you get to the finals, like, it's all bets are off. Everyone thought OKC was going to sweep the Pacers last year. Pacers turned out to be a really good team. The reason that the Knicks could win is because, like I said, they do have depth. The reason the Thunder are as good as they are at basketball is because of how deep they are off their bench. When you sit your starters and they're all getting rest, the 5 guys you bring in are usually kind of like bums. They're not bums, but they're not the best basketball players ever. the Thunder platoon in like a starting five of basically like all lottery picks, essentially. While I take this call, guys, here are my round 2 awards for you to chew on. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. Which name are you calling in from? Cole from Georgia, you are calling into TBWZ, brother. How are you doing today? Did you have school? You're an adult. Let's go, bro. Adulthood is awesome. You're calling into TBWZ. What did you want to talk about today? It's the first adult I've had in a long time.
I was the one talking shit about.
Try not to cuss. I get in trouble on TikTok if you cuss, so just try to keep it clean.
Oh, I apologize. My bad.
You're good.
My bad. Yeah, I think Spurs get at least 2 games. I do think OKC win the series, but I think Spurs get at least 2 games, like minimum.
Yeah, I mean that would definitely be like the thought that makes the most sense to me. I just, we're doing this before game 1 and everyone's very excited about the series, but you see a 30-point win from the Thunder tonight and everyone's like, never mind, the series is completely over. I think a big thing that the Spurs have is they have a great home court that is going to be feisty, but they've had home court all playoffs. I think there's a big psyche thing with like every series you've started with 2 home games. Now you're starting with 2 road games. If you go down 0-2, which the Spurs have never been, like that's a tough spot to be in.
I'd be really surprised if they don't take a game on the road.
Are you thinking
just
splits for the first 4 games and we'll go in 2-2 into like game 5 and 6?
I think that's how it'll go. And then from there, I think, Thunder probably turn it up a gear and finish it out. My other take though.
Yeah, hit me.
And this is the bigger one, is that I think Knicks are gonna surprise a lot of people. They're shooting so well right now. Yeah. And it doesn't look at all like it's gonna slow down. Like so far, I mean, the Eastern Conference Finals haven't started yet, but I think when they do make it to the finals, which I'm like 100%, I think they're gonna make it.
Dude, the Knicks look very, very, very good.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that whoever wins the West is going to win the finals and that the team out of the East has no chance in the finals.
Yeah,
but
they all say that.
Dude, the more I look at the Knicks, like it's a good basketball team. Really good.
They're just shooting so well. That's the thing. And the teams that shoot really well are the ones that win it.
And the Cavs defense is not very good.
They're not very good, exactly.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean that I think Cavs are somewhat of a sweep. I think maybe 4-2, 4-1, something like that. I don't think that's going to be very close. I think the Knicks. Knicks are gonna have. I think they're going to be comfortable most of the series. Maybe not super comfortable, but I don't even think it'll go to 7.
I think that offensively the Knicks will be fine at scoring. It's just a matter of Cleveland is really, really good at home in the playoffs, and so I expect them to get a couple of those home wins. And, if Donovan Mitchell shows up like that and Jared Allen and Evan Mobley show up like they did in Game 7, nobody can beat them. That's the most talented team in basketball if all their guys show up, but the problem is they don't always do. Cole, you're the absolute man, bro.
I was watching that.
Go for it.
I was watching that Game 7, man, and man, the Pistons just weren't playing defense like that. They let Jared Allen walk straight through them like every single possession, bro. And D-Mitch, he was pretty much doing the same thing, It was real. It just looked too easy, And I don't think they're gonna have anything like that at all the whole series. They're never gonna have a single game like that with the Knicks.
And I know it's the dumb part of it, our least favorite part, but Knicks fans are absolute rabid animals, and that barn is going to be absolutely rocking tomorrow and then every night of the series. Cole, unbelievable stuff, bro. God bless. Thanks for calling in the show. We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Peace. All right, I got to go to baseball practice. Oreo the Cat says Spurs in 4. Brother Oreo, we will see you tonight. How come it all got disconnected? My entire soundboard, my phone, everything got disconnected from OBS because it's a horrible, 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 horrible program. They make streaming so hard. Everything is lost. All my friends... Sorry. Did YouTube go down? Or did YouTube stay up the whole time? They all went down. Nothing like a little crash to get your day going. Oh, that's what I have wrong. There we go. That's why all the viewers went away. Yeah, we saw what happened to the Sixers because there were too many Knicks fans in Philly. And Lil Chev, that's why I gave the atmosphere of the round. OBS is the best software, by the way. Tried Streamlabs once. It was a disaster. NATO, I mean, OBS crashes all the time for me. It just be crashing like that. What it does is it unlinks all of my inputs and outputs and stuff, and then I right when I click on like restart capture to like relink my soundboard to OBS, it just is like, nah, I'm out. Zach, I got a question. Do you think LeBron in the 90s could have stopped Jordan? Absolutely. 1,000,000%. He would have stopped him every time. Jordan would have no rings. CR1 said, can you answer? I don't know, brother. That's up to you. You call. I see the number. I either answer or I don't. That's how it rolls, baby. I'm so mad my OBS crashed. I don't have a soundboard. Maybe that's why. I got a lot of moving parts. A lot of moving farts. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Hello, my name is Christian. I'm calling from Texas.
Christian from Texas. Are you the one who keeps chatting and telling me to answer the phone?
Yeah, I got to talk about this game, man.
Bro, next time, you chill out, okay? Just messing around. I love the passion. I love you wanting to call in and talk ball. Christian, what do you got for us today?
I just wanted to see your perspective about this game today. I don't know how. I mean, it's going to depend on the both superstars, Wemby and SGA. That game is in their hands. I just wanted to see your perspective on the game and how you think it's going to be going forward.
I honestly think the Thunder might win by like 20 tonight. I think the Thunder are going to just absolutely just trounce them because they're very, very, very well rested. J-Dub is back in the lineup. I think there's like a guard advantage absolutely for SGA and for the Thunder. I think a lot of the game is going to be kind of won around the perimeter and like in the mid-range area rather than inside the paint. And I think that just favors the Thunder a little bit more. I also think they've been shooting really well from three, surprisingly, and I think they continue to do that. And it's at home, so that place is going to be absolutely rowdy.
How do you feel on the Spurs beating the Thunder 3-3 in the series in the regular season? They played 4 games. They won 3 out of the 4 times. I want to see how you think that's going to affect. You think that past, those past games are going to affect on their like the reflection on how those games are going to go?
Well, they actually played 5 times, and the Spurs were 4-1, so that even helps you out a lot more. I went back and looked at these box scores of these games. Kenrich Williams, do you know who that is?
Yes.
Kenrich Williams was averaging 25 points per game during this time for the Thunder, and he was the primary defender on Victor Wembanyama. He doesn't even play anymore for that team. They've completely changed the rotations around. So I think it's a very different Thunder team than we had in those regular season games. But yeah, bro, they played really well in the regular season. I think the playoffs is a whole different animal, though, and when the defense steps up like that, it's going to be hard for the Spurs to get through it.
Do you think that Chet will be stand his ground on Wemby?
Yeah, Chet has stood his ground pretty well over his entire career. They've faced each other a lot, bro, even before they were in the league together. I think Chet's done a pretty good job against Wemby, and having a second 7-footer like Hartenstein to help carry some of the weight is going to be big for them.
Okay, yeah. I just want to see if you think that Stephon Castle will be able to guard SGA. Do you think that he'll put the lockdown defense that he's been showing that he could in these past series, these past games, that he's been putting lockdown defense on their primary player? Like in the Timberwolves this past series, Anthony Edwards, and in the past series, Denny Adviher, he's played lockdown defense. Anthony Edwards is averaging about a good 28 points, and he only scored a good 17, 20 to 20, 25 each game. Do you think Stephon Castle will play good impact on SGA this game?
Well, I think Anthony Edwards had 2 hurt knees in that series and was really limited because of his health, and I don't think there's any chance anybody in the league could slow down SGA. I think he's the best scorer in the league. He's the MVP for a reason. I think he's going to go out and get his bucket. The only reason the Lakers had success against him was because they double-teamed him almost every time he touched the ball. And then when you double Shea, J-Dub is wide open in the corner for an easy 3. So it's impossible to really double-team him and try to win. So, yeah, I think SGA is going to still get his no matter who's guarding him.
All right. Tomorrow, I'm going to call you at exact time around 5, and I'm gonna tell you that the Spurs have dominated the Thunder in Game 1. I just wanted to congratulate you on all your past achievements in this little live stream. You've been getting so much love. I just wanted to see you keep going.
Bro, you're the absolute man, Christian. I'm going to be live tomorrow night during the game. Tomorrow night. So you could call back in tomorrow night and tell me if I was right or wrong.
All right. We'll see, man. I have a money line actually on this game. If Wemby gets 15,
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. No, you
Yes,
don't.
I
No,
do.
you don't.
Yes, I do.
How
Yes,
old
I
are you?
do.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 14.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard anyone do in their entire life. You're 14 years old and you're spending money on that crap? Brother, you're setting yourself up for failure, bro. The reason Las Vegas is as big as it is because of 14-year-olds like you spending their money on sports books. Bro, I can't even be nice about that. That's one of the dumbest things you could do. That's going to like completely tarnish your life. I know guys who are your age that started betting and now they're thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in debt. You should not be gambling.
All right,
don't. Oh my gosh, bro. 14 years old? Trying to cash a parlay? Bro, Christian, I know you're in the chat right now, and I feel bad for hanging up on you, brother, but that hurts my heart, bro. Are your parents letting you do that? You don't have a job. You don't have money. All of your worth you're putting on that. Bro. No, you only do that kind of stuff if you have thousands of dollars to lose. You never place a wager thinking you're going to make money. Bro, that is Christian. You got to tell your mom or dad or something like that, bro. That's crazy. That hurts my heart, brother. It's the dumbest possible thing you could do. I have friends right now that are 30 years old and they're $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in debt. And they're never going to get out of that debt because of what they did when they were 16 and 17 years old. Putting money on sports and stuff like that. I don't care how much sports you watch or how much research you do. You have a real ego problem if you think you're smarter than the odds makers. Sugo, you said it right, bro. You said it completely right, dog. No, Christian. I only place wagers when I know I'm going to win. No, you don't. You don't. Bro, that is one of the worst things that you could ever do for your life is start sports betting, bro. I have friends that have gotten in legit trouble with people and have gone to means to try to get out from under that. Just normal dudes with normal lives spending all of their money on that stuff. And then now they're 30 years old and they have no prospects. They're going to be in debt for the rest of their life because of the decisions that they made. If you're doing that at the age of 14, I highly suggest you stop immediately. How are you even able to sign up for one? That means you have to steal your mom's or dad's ID. So you've gone into their purse, you've stolen their ID, you've created an account on DraftKings or Prize Picks using their name and their likeness, and then probably use their own credit card to put money on it. Oh my gosh, dude. You can't do that. You can't do that. I haven't spent money. I get free money for inviting people to the app. No, that is even worse. That is even worse. That is even worse. You guys, man, I've seen so many people. It's fun when you're 16 or 17, you're like, this is cool. I'm going to spend $20. When you're putting down thousands of dollars on a 3-team parlay to try to make all your money back because you owe a bunch of people money, it's not cool. And when you can't afford to buy a car, and you can't afford a car payment, and your dad's like, well, how haven't you been saving money? And you realize you've spent $10,000 on DraftKings in the past 2 months. It's a horrible financial habit. It's just addiction. Because sports are good, bro. Sports are awesome. Just watching sports is the part that we're supposed to like. So sit down in the chair, turn on the game, and be like, this is awesome. I love sports. If you need action to make it fun, that's going to be a constant addiction that you have for the rest of your life. If you look down at people who are smoking cigarettes, or you look down at people who are alcoholics, or you look down on people who are drug addicts, sports gambling is the exact same thing as all that. Oftentimes more detrimental. Bro, go to one gambling I went to one gambling anonymous meeting with my friend one time. There were multiple men that spent their entire down payments of their houses on betting, and they lost their homes because of it. I know that's like a very drastic take and a drastic case, but even smaller than that, bro. If you spend $1,000 a month on it, that's $12,000 a year. And you're like, I don't spend $1,000 a month on it. Like, it's very, very easy to like lose $1,000 in a month. It's very easy to lose $1,000 in a single day on an NFL Sunday. Anyone that thinks they can make money on sports betting, I challenge you to make 30 mock bets or parlays. Don't wager actual money. Just track them and see how much you win or lose. This is great advice from Sugo. 99% of people will be down after those 30 mock picks. You'll thank me that you didn't actually put money on it. And the 1% that do make money are pure luck and will continue to lose at some point. Oh, man. It hurts my heart. No one's here anymore. Nah, Christian. I think you got to go, bro. Christian, I don't think we want this energy in the chat, dog. I'm so sorry, bro. Yeah, Christian, I think I got to block you, brother. Mopeda, what up, dog? That's my guy, testing it out. There you are. It doesn't pop up on the screen, though. Let's put my round 2 bracket up. Mute. Yeah, sorry, Christian. I can't have you chatting in the chat and saying that kind of stuff, bro. That means what you're doing you're saying you only get money for referring people to your account is you're having other 14-year-olds around you become addicted for the entire lives. You're going to have a situation where like guys are 35 years old and like, "Oh, you're still gambling?" It's like, "Yeah, dude, ever since you sent that to me when I was 14 years old, I've been gambling ever since." That's lifelong addictions that you're helping your friends start. I'm being such an unk and such a loser about this because of how serious and detrimental it is. YouTube chat not on. Yeah, I don't know how to get the YouTube and the Twitch chat both on screen. It is kind of Sugo. That is accurate. That is 100% accurate. How do you feel about betting with fake money on something like Sleeper or Stadium? If you're doing it with fake money, like sure, that's kind of fun, I guess. You know, fantasy football is enough of a gamble, bro. How like annoying is it like putting in $25 for fantasy football and like losing that and like having to give that? I just think the dumbest thing you could ever do is give your money away, and you're never really gonna win. You're never gonna win. The reason Vegas is as big as it is because you guys always lose. I know a man who's been gambling for 30 years of his life. Probably 30 years of his life. And I said, over the time that you've been gambling, are you positive? And he said, if I am not negative, I'm maybe like $20 positive. But the goal of a lifelong gambler is just to stay even. Yeah, do a bracket or fantasy football with your friends. When you gamble against your friends, Vegas takes everything. Vegas takes, make a wager with your buddy. Be like, yo, +7. Do you like it? And he's like, yeah, I like it. All right, I'll take -7. All right, cool. Like, you can do a little side thing with your friends, but, man. Christian, you gotta figure it out a little bit more, dude. You have a responsibility as a young man, bro. 14 years old, formidable time. TikTok sucks today, bro. No energy. But my guy Lil Chev is in here having a great time, balling out. We did do a TBWZ bracket, and it was awesome. It was really awesome. All right, I'm going off TikTok. I'm gonna finish on Lil Chev. I'll be finishing on Twitch for the next like hour or so if you want to keep watching there. But we're dead over on TikTok. So if you guys want to finish watching the show with us on Twitch or YouTube, it's Take Back with Zach. We're also going to be going live tonight, a little after halftime of the Thunder and Spurs game. So we'll be doing a live Spurs Thunder watch along. Love you guys so much. See you guys in a bit. I'll see you guys later tonight. Peace. What a retard. That kid is the most retarded kid I've ever met in my life. Are you kidding me? 14 years old? You cannot sign up for DraftKings or for, I gotta follow this guy back. Lil Chev, and with the follow. Beast. You cannot even sign up for DraftKings or for Prize Picks or FanDuel or whatever they're using without an 18-plus ID. In some states, it's 21-plus. So in order to even create an account like that, his parents have either allowed him to do it. His parents have either said, like, yeah, sure, you could do it. Or his dad has an account and he's just stealing his dad's phone and logging in that way. Or he stole his mom's ID and put his own mom's ID in his own DraftKings account, which kids are doing. I've seen, like, I don't know why. I'm just passionate about, kids not doing dumb things and not creating lifelong addictions and crutches for themselves. There's multiple cases of kids taking their mom's ID and signing up for DraftKings using mom's ID, also taking her credit card, maxing it out, like literally spending like $6,000 on mom's card in the course of like 3 football days, and then going like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Because you lose $100 and then you're like, crap, and you lose $300 bets, like, well, I'm down $300. So then you put together a parlay that's a $300 parlay that's going to pay $3,000. And you miss that, now you're down $900, and you're like, oh crap, let me put a $1,000 bet down. That loses, and then you put another $1,000, boom. It's so easy, bro. Oh my gosh. I think there's an epidemic right now for young men, and it's not like our fault. Most men are going to lean on the more on the addictive personality type for most young men. I definitely suffer from it. I still have my own vices and stuff. Today I'm 2 years and 8 months sober from drugs and alcohol, which is cool. 974 days of sobriety for me. Pretty crazy stuff. But I still have things that I still deal with, right? I still have my own vices and my own addictions that I'm trying to break, and things that are going on in life. And like I think a lot of our society, hate to get this way, but I think our society feeds the need of addiction. I think they target young men. It's like, hey, don't just watch sports, bet on sports. Make your leisure activity an addiction, right? OnlyFans and like porn. Like 11 and 12-year-old guys. And we all got exposed to it like a very young age, I think, just because we had access to like iPod Touches. Dude, iPod Touches and like very, very early iPhone type things where you had that one friend who came over from Little League and he had a sleepover and you didn't know him that well and he has a phone for whatever reason and he's like, look. And you're like, whoa. NATO, you're the man, bro. Thank you. Dude, day 1 through 30 are the hardest ones by far. Day 925 is proving to be kind of difficult. It's like, hey, want a girlfriend? Want to do some things? Do you want to have sex? All good. Just become addicted to this. It's called OnlyFans. She can talk to you. Pay her a bunch of money, and she'll rate you, and she'll chat with you. It's an addiction model, basically. It's all just like an addiction model. It's like, bro, guess who's ins? Big Cat, PFT commenter. The coolest guys that you know, Luke Bryan. Bro, all the coolest guys you know, they zin. And they advertise it. Theo Vaughn, bro, he's so funny. He zins. He's advertising. Oh, dude, I should get some of those, bro. Oh, they do it. I need it too, dog. Caffeine addiction is a big thing. Food addiction is a big thing. Nicotine. Drinking. Drinking not as much, dude. Not going to lie. The younger kids are not drinking that much. I went for 2 sober sprees, 90 and 60. That's the best I could do. The hardest part, NATO, is once you hit day 60 or day 90 and you're like, I'm good, bro. I did it. Like I'm good to go, bro. That's the hard part, is like feeling once the hangover really goes away and the shame of what you did really, really, really all goes away. And that's all on the back burner. If you've forgiven yourself and you've asked for forgiveness from all your friends or whatever, you've done a couple of steps and it's like, I feel like I'm healed. I feel like I'm good. Bro, I was hungover for 7 days when I got sober. Day 8, I woke up like, what I want you've got, but it might be hard to handle. Like a flame burn. I'm like, dude, let's go. I'm like, dude, let's go to the bar. I feel so fine. I feel so great. But, dude, just doing that is better than most people will ever try. So I applaud you and appreciate you. And I just know, like, for me, it wouldn't have happened if it was not, it was as much a timing thing as it was like a need to stop. It's really hard to quit something when you don't want to. Like, that kid Christian is not going to quit gambling anytime soon. It's going to be when it's too late. When he's 18 years old and he's already spent a ton of his parents' money and he's in massive, massive trouble. When he's like, I need to stop this, that's when it's usually too late. Bro, that breaks my heart. The worst part is he called into my show thinking like I was going to be like, oh, sick, dude. Oh, dude, that's awesome. A 29-year-old telling a 14-year-old bro. I'm double his age. He thought I was going to be like, dude, sick, bro. Oh, you're putting $200 on that? That's so sick, bro. You're going to win a K? You got Wemby. Oh, you got Wemby points, rebounds, assists? Whoa. I guess that's how I present. Maybe I should do my hair differently. I guess I just present as a guy that's like, yeah, sports gambling rocks. I'm not. Far from it. I lean not on my own understanding, brother. I am excited for these basketball games, though. It's going to be very fun. Dude, we did a TBWZ bracket, and this is what it was looking like. Where can I find it? I mean, it just went away so quickly. I've become an absolute boomer loser. Me and the computer have not been getting along recently. And it's very, very sad. Oh, here's Sham. Dude, here's Shams on Pat McAfee. What is this? And then, oh my gosh. It all got unlinked. Worst stream ever. Worst stream of all time. It's so hot in my room, too. This is not a recipe. This is not a good recipe. I'm not going to recover from this one. I could just tell. You know, when you just know your day is shot? Yeah, I'm just not going to do well today. Did you ever wake up some days and roll over and you're like, I'm going to do the wrong thing today? Some days you're like, all right, I got a plan. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to work out. I'm going to go to Target. I'm going to then go grocery shopping. I'm going to come back, drop all that stuff off. I'm going to go to my niece's Little League game. Then I'm going to roll back home and I'm going to cook this. I'm going to cook that. Then I'm going to meet up with the boys. Oh, yeah, dude. Super fun, great, productive day all lined up. And then other days you're like, I'm going to cancel on that person. I'm going to lay in bed for the next 2 hours and go on TikToks until I hate myself and then crawl into the shower and lay on the floor for like 20 minutes until I can get enough life to go and like heat up a microwave burrito. Life be like that sometimes, dog. Clip that, paprika. I don't even know what I'm looking for right now. Canadians and Sabres? No. What am I looking for? What the crap, guys? Here we go. Men's basketball. What? They don't even have it on here. NBA playoff challenge? There we go. Oh, I forgot. Oh, my gosh. What an absolute loser. If it crashes, guys, if it crashes, I'm not coming back on, but I love you guys. There we go. Didn't crash. Still love you guys. It'd be funny if I'm like, nah, but I hate you guys now. Dude, also, like, look at this. Can we just look at this real fast? For God is not unjust. He will not forget how hard you have worked. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I need to know that. Let's just do a little quick dive on FanDuel and see what these people are putting out for us, okay? So I just went on. Wait, which one's the biggest? Is DraftKings the biggest or is FanDuel the biggest? Biggest. Let's just go with FanDuel, okay? What's the first thing you see on the front page when I log into my FanDuel? Oh, nothing. Just a 4-leg parlay that's plus 1,000, 113. $10 to win 111. Hey, sign me up. 5,000 idiots have placed this bet. Jalen Williams to score 15 plus. Dylan Harper to score 15 plus. SGA 25 plus. Victor 25. Hey, this can't lose. Wow. This cannot lose. Place. If the book is putting a parlay right on the home screen for you to take, it's not going to hit. This is good. These are just normal, you know what I mean? It was +7 earlier. I like looking at the numbers. I think it's very interesting stuff. The next thing you see is to score 20 points. What is this? Wow, parlay builder. Same game parlay. Shea. Okay. Okay. I think J-Dub will. Okay. Stupid. Blake, save me, Blake. Blake, how are you doing? You're on TBWZ Live.
I'm doing pretty good today. Just got home from school.
Yeah, you're done with school soon, huh, bro?
Huh?
You're done with school pretty soon, huh?
Well, basically, like on Mondays, right?
Right.
My school gets out like at 2:15. Then I had to go to the store.
Mm-hmm.
Get
What did you get from the
stuff.
store?
Just like I don't know, like some.
Were you going to
food.
grocery store, or were you getting like deodorant and stuff?
Grocery store.
What kind of deodorant do you use? I wear like Dove Men Plus Care, like extra strength antiperspirant. I've been wearing it for like 10 years now. I'm kind of in need of a switch up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what?
Definitely.
Yeah. So that point. What did you get? What kind of food did you get from the store, Blake? What are you cooking up today?
Can I go back in the show? Actually, never mind. I'm sorry. I was looking at something else. My bad.
You're good.
Anyway.
What were you looking at?
Just someone texted me.
Nice, bro. I'm bad at responding to texts. I feel like I'm really bad at responding to people. It just bothers me when I get a text. Like, don't talk to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Anyway, the stuff I use is tone.
Oh, use tone?
Yeah. Have you heard of that before?
No, I have not, but it gets the job done. No, I have
What
not, but
did
it gets
you
the
say?
job. It gets the job done?
Yeah.
Nice, bro. I've been trying to get into cologne recently because I want to make sure I smell good. I think one of the most underrated things you could do as a man is just like smell good. It's like an easy fix.
I feel like I also need to get into cologne because I don't really wear any.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is like, you know when like a group of girls passes you by, they smell so good. I'm like, what is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like what? It makes sense. Girls smell better than most of the boys, like in my opinion.
Do you feel like generally like most girls are cleaner than most guys?
I feel like yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to stay clean, and sometimes it's hard to like maintain good hygiene. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to shower. I want to go and play around. I don't need to worry about showering.
Yeah. Who do you have winning tonight? Spurs or Thunder?
Dude, I think the Thunder are gonna win tonight.
I have a question. What do you talk about whenever basketball is not on?
Oh, I'm going to be talking about football a lot, and then we're going to be doing some baseball stuff. But during the summer, we're also going to just do some like silly contests and stuff, kind of like the AI-generated children's book covers that we've been doing.
Yeah.
Have you been liking that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
like I like it when just like the Twitch chat is just like I don't know, just like there, not like the TikTok chat.
Yeah, like when it's all popping off and everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
It seems like we're building a community and we have like a group of friends that are all together.
Yeah. Definitely.
Did you see anything? Did you do anything fun this weekend? Because it's obviously Monday and Mondays stink, but Saturday and Sunday, I bet you did something sick, right?
No, not really. I just watched like the Cavs play.
What are you watching outside of sports? Like, what's your go-to thing on the tube?
Like show-wise?
Yeah, sure.
Or either I watch baseball or football.
So you're a sports head through and through.
Yeah.
Did you ever play sports, Blake?
Yeah, a little bit growing up.
Were you good?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
For
Man.
like 9 years old or something like that.
When you were 9?
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. Bro, dude, the Texas Tech quarterback is getting in trouble for sports gambling right now. He's trying to...
DJ Stroud?
No, the Texas Tech, the college, Brendan Sorsby.
Oh, that? Because they gambled?
Yeah, he's getting in trouble big time. What are your thoughts on sports gambling?
It's like stupid. Why are you putting money in like where you could actually lose it?
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. Like, if you have money, why not just keep it? Or spend it on cool things like, I don't know, toys?
Or you just put it into crypto.
You could just put it all into crypto. Blake, are you a crypto guy?
No.
No.
I
was gonna say if you were a crypto guy, I'd have you help me with crypto.
Not really. Maybe in the future, but like not now.
But one day you want a fat crypto portfolio? Are you gonna have any NFTs?
Maybe.
Do you remember when NFTs were like the biggest thing in the world, and now they're all worth like nothing?
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I also want to get Elon Musk Teslas.
You want to buy a Tesla?
Yeah, one day. It just seems cool.
It is pretty cool. Have you ever ridden in one?
I want to. Where do you think these athletes get the money from? I know from the NFL, but like, how are they getting money like that? Like $100 million?
I don't know what you mean. Like, how are the players getting paid? Like physically, or
like
maybe you could clarify.
Like basically, like how is the NFL getting all of this money, like millions of dollars,
to pay the players? Like how much? Where are they getting all this money from? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically.
Well, let me look up the NFL. Sorry, the NFL TV rights deal, because they get a lot of their money from the TV rights, and you got to understand they also make all of the money that comes in through the gate, which is all of the ticket sales. So they have ticket sales, jersey sales, all of the concessions from inside the stadium, and then the NFL, food, and then the NFL generates roughly $11 billion annually just from the TV companies. Yeah.
Like, around like maybe 2015, right?
Okay.
The tickets used to cost like not that much.
And now they cost a lot more?
I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, a big reason that they make all their money is like, you know how games are on Amazon Prime now and YouTube and Peacock and Netflix. Those companies pay like over $1 billion a year to get the games, and the money gets split between all 32 teams.
Like, they must be, the NFL is rich to like keep these teams, like, I don't know, there.
They're rich to do it?
No, they're kind of rich to like keep the teams and like keep the money keep going.
It is important to keep the money going, but realistically, if you think about it, Blake, there is no money for the NFL if there are no players. So what's more important, the league or the players?
The players.
Wow. Do you think if every single player left the NFL and started their own sports league, that it would be as big as the NFL in one season?
It could be, but like, I don't know.
What would make it big for you? Like what if Pat Mahomes was like, me and Tom Brady are starting our own league, and like all of the good NFL players go to that league and play there? I feel like I'm not watching the NFL anymore.
Only if they choose fans to be like the ownership of different teams.
Wow, you think fans should have an ownership stake, kind of like the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, like they own a team.
So let's say like they auctioned off like 0.01% of their team, and it was like maybe $1,000 to get a little bit of ownership, and then you could vote on stuff, like maybe vote for who the GM is or head coach?
Yeah.
This sounds good. Let's keep working on this. So what team would you want to invest in, Blake?
Probably Broncos.
Yeah, so you're a Broncos fan, so you'd want to invest. So let's say, all right, for $1,000, you could become a part owner of the league. And then every year when there's like a new head coach, you get to vote for who you think is the best head coach, and you get to vote for who you think is the best GM, and you also get to vote on who you guys would draft maybe, or should we leave that to the person that you hire?
The person hire.
So we're not going to mess around with draft picks, but we are going to decide who's the head coach. Are we also going to decide like any uniform changes or stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would be the biggest thing for you? Like, what would you most want like to get your hands dirty with when it comes to being an owner of a team? What would you most want to work on?
Like defense.
Yeah, X's and O's. We need to get you on defense. Did you play defense when you played football?
Well, when I played flag football, basically, I was on offense, center.
You were a center, so you were snapping the ball. It's an important position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Blake, you said you went to the store today and got some food. What are you cooking for dinner?
I'm not 100% sure.
No. If it was your birthday, what would be like your number one birthday dinner that you would want?
Steak, macaroni.
Wow.
A Sprite for the drink.
Blake, one day when we do a TBWZ meetup, we need to do like a full like meetup with all of the homies, and we're gonna have steak, macaroni, and Sprite. That sounds like such a good meal.
Where would it be?
Probably in Oklahoma.
I do not like Oklahoma teams, so I do not step in foot of Oklahoma. So
all right, we'll do it in LA.
Okay, LA is fine.
Have you been to LA?
Maybe once or twice.
Maybe once or twice. You just don't remember?
Yeah, not really.
Have you been to New York?
No.
No. Bro, is it cool if I ever like put these clips out of you and I talking on TikTok or Instagram?
Yeah. I don't mind.
You sure you're okay with it?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay. Do you want to help me with tonight's question of the day? Maybe a good one that we could do before you go?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
was thinking of
good question of the day. If you had to pick one NFL player to be kicked out, who would it be?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we just get to ban one player from the league?
Just see who they would
So the question
out.
would be like, it'd be framed like this. Let's pretend you're a random caller, and then I'll answer it, okay? All right, question of the day, bro. If you had the power to eliminate one NFL player from the entire league and ban them for life, what player would you eliminate? Is that good?
Yeah.
Huh. All right, so what's your answer? Pat Mahomes.
Aaron Rodgers.
Wow, you're going to Aaron Rodgers? What did he do to you?
Just can I change my decision?
I don't know, chat.
Yep.
Should we let him change his decision? Yeah, you can. You can. I'm in charge here.
Okay. Probably.
Do you want me to ask? Can I practice asking it again?
Huh?
Can I just practice asking again?
Sure.
What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ. Before you go, dog, question of the day. If you could ban one current NFL player from ever playing in the league again and banish them from the NFL, what player would you ban?
Probably I'll go with Aaron Rodgers.
You're going to go with Aaron Rodgers? I thought you wanted to change your answer.
I thought I did, but then I realized I just don't like the guy. He just got to get out of the league.
I'm with you. He's old. He's got gross hair. His tattoo is stupid. When did you stop not liking Aaron Rodgers? Does that make sense?
I just don't like Aaron Rodgers.
You've never liked him.
I don't like his. I don't like his team. I generally hate the Steelers.
Why? They're not even. Oh, I guess you guys did play a lot of AFC championship games against each other when it was Big Ben and the Steelers. Then you had Peyton Manning and stuff.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, true. So no idea what you're having for dinner tonight?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, good. Hey, we're gonna do TBWZ again later tonight during the OKC and Thunder or OKC and Spurs game. Do you have a prediction for that game yet? Yeah, go.
I think the Spurs is going to win by 2 points.
Wow. Can I write that down? Because if you get that prediction perfectly correct, I think you should win some sort of prize.
All right.
What do you think would be a good prize for me to hand out that's not money? Because I don't have any money. I'm broke.
Maybe be a mod on something.
Spurs win by 2. That could be good, but then if we have random, not saying you, but if we have random people that win things, then they'd be mods. They could do bad stuff.
True.
I feel like I need to get like I feel like I need to get a whiteboard. You know what I mean? Like maybe see where the Miracle on Ice poster is, like above my head. I can get a whiteboard that just says like I can just write things on that, and so like top weenie would be like Blake. Like if he won that, you know what I mean? So I could shout you guys out.
Yeah, or like shout out like a TikTok or something.
Shout out their TikTok or something.
Yeah, I have no clue. I'm just coming with ideas.
Hey, that's all we could do, bro. You know, I've been in some pitch meetings before with some like big kind of very talented writers and directors and Hollywood type people. The number one thing you do is just throw ideas out there. They're not all going to be good, but what you do is like you get through all the bad ones, then you have the good ones come at the end. Pause. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Blake, you're so unbelievable. I think I'm going to hop off live in a second here. Did you have anything else for the people?
Just one day I hope I could be a Twitch mod.
Yeah, we got plenty of time for that, bro. It's going to happen. Yeah, brainstorm sesh. It's going to happen at some point, Blake. I don't have enough like work to be done. I just have JD and Oreo right now, but once we get a bunch more people in the chat, I could bring you in.
Wait, I have a question. Why did you make JD mod in the first place?
Well, JD's been watching this show now for probably like 4 or 5 months, maybe even 6 months. He's been watching for a long, long time. And I know you've been watching for like a month, but he's been in here for a minute, you know?
I discovered you like just, I don't know, one random day on TikTok.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like you discovered me on TikTok and then you came over to Twitch and then just joined the family and now you're part of the thing, dude. How do we get more people to do that?
Like I wanna grow like the the Twitch channel.
Yeah, me too.
Like a little bit more, like 30 people or something.
30 would be really fun. I want to do like 30,000 people.
I have a question. If you get 30,000 people, how are you gonna read like I don't know, JD, Oreo?
Well, if we're at 30,000, those guys would just be in studio. They would have their own mic. I would probably have hired them to be producers, and they would just be like in our studio. Because you know, like Pat McAfee has like a go.
Sorry, Drac.
What the heck was that?
Basically, like you would hire me if we have like 30,000.
I have 30. Yeah. Absolutely, you'd be hired.
Yeah, like. Maybe one day you could make like a podcast room or something.
Yeah, you know how Pat McAfee is on like a big sound stage, and he has like a big set, and all like the producers are around him, and everyone. That's what I want to build one day for TBWZ. So we have like a big set and a big stage, and like TVs everywhere, and yeah.
Before you, who would you have on the podcast?
Do you know Trey, Retrospect Music, the guy that calls in almost every show? Trey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd be really good on the show. My friend Brick would be really, really good on the show. I think JD would be a good addition. I think you'd be sick to have in studio. Yeah, there's a bunch of guys that I think could be a part of this thing.
Yeah, I'm genuinely happy I joined the family because you're a awesome guy.
Bro, thank you for saying that, Blake. And I'm glad you called it a family because I want it to be like a place where you can come to with your problems or your issues and you can just get some love and you can talk ball and hang out with your friends. That's basically what I want it to be, is like a big community.
Yeah, definitely.
Blake, you're the absolute man, bro. I seriously do love you a lot. You're the absolute best. I can't wait to see you later tonight, but we're going to hop off, okay?
Wait, yeah.
No, yeah. What's up? What'd you have?
Is it one call per live stream?
Yeah, so you could call back again tonight.
Okay. I didn't know if it worked like that or what.
No, yeah, it's one call per show, but since it's two separate shows, you could call for both. But Blake, you want to hear something crazy, dude? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. This call right now is at 21 minutes and 30 seconds. This is a new record for our longest call in TBWZ history.
Really?
Yeah. You are the longest call in TBWZ history, Blake. It is absolutely official. Congratulations, brother.
All right. I'll tune in to the stream later.
I cannot wait to see you later. And you're at 22 minutes now, so maybe we will eclipse that at some point together. But Blake, I will see you later tonight, bro. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye. He always hangs up on me. 21:52. New record. Bro had no idea what he was doing. He threw me a life preserver. A life preserver. NATO said, entertaining calls like this one is certainly a way to grow. NATO, that's the fun part, is like, people maybe will watch the clips and be like, it's funny, talking sports, whatever, that's kind of cool. It's when they come over to the full show that they're like, oh my gosh, there are some characters who call into this thing and make this thing awesome. So that is ultimately the goal with all of the homies. But fellas, this week, since NBA Western Conference Finals, all the games are at like 5 and 5:30. It's like a little bit of earlier starts for me because I get ready for the game during the first quarter. So that means I'd be starting working again in like an hour and a half, and I need more time to edit clips, and I need more time to post those clips, and I need more time to actually like sit down and write new material because I always write new material and new jokes and stuff for every show. So I do think I'm going to hop off now, which is a little bit early, and I apologize for that, but we'll be back again later tonight. I don't think I'm going to be going live directly at halftime like I usually have been. I'll probably be going once the third quarter starts. So I could do a little bit of a later kind of vibe so I can hang out a little bit after. And then more people, I feel like I would hate having games start at 5. Yeah, JD, it's the absolute worst, bro. It sucks so much, dude. It's like the sun is still out the entire game. Like it sucks. So in order to combat that a little bit, I'm going to be probably going live closer to like some point in the third quarter. So that way we can like really catch the end of the game well together. And then we can also like have more time for people to call in after the game. Because like one of the things that I like is like I want to be able to, I love having the sun down and watching some baseball or basketball. I'm with you. Basketball's better with the lights off. Come on now. Few things are, but basketball definitely is. I was really expecting more people to call in and be like, oh, my team just lost. I'm sad. Here's why I'm sad. But usually it's people just calling in and being like, you're an idiot. So I don't know. You know, after a certain amount of time, maybe I'm doing something wrong. But fellas, absolutely love you. Thanks for watching today's show. It's time to go. And it's not getting fed through. Of course it's not. Do I even try? The music's not coming through. Do I have to sing it again? Do I have to do it? All right. Okay. No! Why? Oh my gosh. Towel, hurry. Wow. When I have tech issues, it makes me want to actually like hurt somebody physically. And then when I have tech issues and I spill my water all over my desk and my soundboard isn't connected and my Spotify's not connected, it makes me very, very upset and angry. Still no cussing. Still didn't cuss on this show. I almost swore at that 14-year-old that said he was gambling. Guys, I don't know how to express how frustrated I am with that child. I just feel bad for that kid and his parents. His parents probably getting swindled out of so much money. That's so annoying. Spilled my whole drink. Yo, Zach, I do want you to know that I'm not usually watching a stream guy and genuinely do love your streams. You're the absolute man, JD. My God, Jet. I just spilled. I have to clean my whole desk now. Crap! Dude, what a day. What a day. I'll sing you guys out real quick. Day after day, I'm more confused. And I look for the light in the pouring rain. You know it's a game that I hate to lose. Now I'm feeling strange. Ain't it a shame? Give me the beat, boy, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Oh, give me the beat, boy, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Love you guys so much. I'll see you tonight. God bless. Vini outie.